And welcome everybody back once again to another Trackalicious GT4 Monday. We have the rookies, we have the open, and it's going to be a long one here tonight with 3 races. Back-to-back sprint races in the 2 20-minute sessions with an additional 45-minute race later on. But more on that in a little bit. I'm Mike Nause, your host here tonight, and joined with me is none other than the Saagar Bakshi. Saagar, welcome.
Thank you so much, Mike Nause. I'm really excited to see how these rookies are able to navigate lap 1, turn 1 here at the tricky Monza circuit. But of course, if they watch the lap guide by Trackalicious, they would know how to get through that pretty smoothly, right, Mike?
Oh, they certainly should know that you should be lifting off the throttle significantly earlier than expected at this track into the first corner, especially on lap 1. Yes, the rookies will have studied that one immensely and will certainly not get that wrong tonight. No foreshadowing expected here. Cue to the YouTube clip that we have coming now. As it stands, though, I hope everyone's having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. I see we got Nailgun Stanley already dropping a 2-month sub with Prime. That's almost a year. My goodness, thank you so much for your continued support here. Big ups on the Trackalicious crew. Thank you so much. Big ups on Nailgun Stanley as well. Doc Milwee joining us as always, of course. It would not be a stream without the Papa Milwee joining us. Mr. Roo as well. We got Rally Dutchy. We have official Karu as well. Hope everyone is having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning. I already said that. Either way, let's get on into the action here. We have the qualifying, I think, underway very soon. That is, as the drivers will be taking out to the circuit. And Saagar, there's one thing that these fine folk will notice when we do switch on over down to the feed, and we are now there. Hopefully, there is no black screen of anticipation. There's a couple DSQs. Do you want to explain that maybe for the fine folk that are new here?
The DSQs or disqualifications are going to be for drivers that had a no-no or an incident, most likely being on lap 1 of the previous race. They're not disqualified from the championship. They're not disqualified from the actual race, but they're disqualified from the qualifying session. So they will have to start at the back of the grid. So that's just getting your nose rubbed into the dirt a little bit, but hopefully those drivers won't have too much qualms with that, as that they will be able to avoid the lap 1 carnage that you said we're going to take over to the racetrack, but hopefully no one will be taken out at turn 1. That's what I'm fingers crossed about right now.
Yeah, the biggest thing again is discretion is the better part of valor in these races, and these rookies need to remember that this is not the Intercontinental World GT Challenge. This is not the finals of a Formula 1 championship. This is not British Grand Touring Car. This is the GT4 Rookie League at Trackalicious. And our goal is to survive here, not necessarily to thrive. As we're just trying, we're little minnows in the pond right now. We're not trying to go and tackle the biggest fish in the pond, because let's be real, that's only going to end in disaster. So have a little bit of discretion, rookies. Back off the throttle early. You know where your braking zone is, hopefully. And again, lift early. My biggest piece of advice. Keep your head on a swivel and don't go for any lunges that you don't need to be going for. If you're not within 2/10, you're probably not going to make the move, so don't do it. It's not worth it.
And the one other thing that this is definitely not is this is not Gran Turismo, everybody. This is Assetto Corsa Competizione. There are some racing physics that we need to deal with here, and you will incur quite a bit of damage from lap 1 incidences, and there's 2 20-minute races. So if your race 1 doesn't go well, or you're not making up as many positions as you feel like you should, there's always your second race where you can make up those positions again. You're thinking about this in 2 different sections, right? You're working way through the grid on the first one. You're working your way through the grid on the second one. You will end up where you're supposed to be. Logan Sargent is fan?
Logan Sargent's fan, yes.
Oh, wow. Hello and welcome.
Welcome indeed. And also, yes, one of the other big things to avoid in the lap 1 incidents is your disqualification in the next race. That is obviously the elephant in the room that you want to avoid. Don't crash. Make it to the end. Get to the checkered flag. That's a win in my books, as far as I'm concerned.
100%.
We'll, like I say, we'll touch more on that if it needs to be. Hopefully it doesn't. But for now, we'll move on to the qualifying session. And Mario Jr. is topping the time charts for the Limit Road BR. It's been Not the most limited road, to be honest, in this championship. They've been quite dominant when it comes to their finishes recently, and you can already see the two Brazilians topping the time charts, Mario Jr. and Aaron Silva, both limit road cars and both on the front row. Also, Adam Strange joining us. Welcome. Fun facts about fingerprinting. Saagar, do you have anything about that?
No, I've been fingerprinted before, but I don't think that counts as a fun fact. While you go find one for us, how about I give us a shakedown of where the standings are right now, Mike?
Sounds great.
Right now, we've got Aaron Silva in P1 in the championship with 124 points. Pedro Artoni is in second place with 106, 102 for Thomas Storms. Christian Julian in fourth place. Jeff Franks in fifth place. There's your top five. Dr. Porkchop is in sixth with 88 points. Vicente Morera is holding on to seventh place. Colin Slug, R.L. Brown, Alex Hansen, Wilson Ortiz, Mario Jr., Omar Perez, Chase Donnelly, Gustavo Casanova, Drew Friedberg, Miguel Cizeron, Yeager Caru, Adian Burke, Raleigh Duchy, Stefania Balazowski. I'm going to roll with that one. Stefano Rinaldi, Ryan Eason, Wade Georgeson, Chris Sunderson, Seth Lincoln, Skylar Smith, Brian Menser, Yadriel Oliveira, Cody Groves, Adriano Moro, Douglas De Silva y Souza. Okay, and that rounds out everybody who's been participating in this championship so far. I didn't want to leave anybody out.
They can leave themselves out. A lot of the people have chosen to, which, come on, people, quit leaving championships.
That's a good point.
Lots of questions rolling in chat right now, and we have the fun facts about fingerprinting. I have a fun fact about cat fingerprints in particular, courtesy of Neil Kerbel. Did you know that a cat's unique fingerprint is their nose print, Saagar?
I had no idea. A cat's fingerprint is their nose print. So you're telling me the pad on their nose is different on every single cat?
Correct. Each cat has a unique pattern of bumps, ridges similar to the human fingerprint.
So if a cat committed a crime, we'd be pressing their nose into an ink pad and having them put it up against something rather than the paws.
Yes. That would be an accurate description. Correct.
And importantly, the most important thing is that Adam Strange actually already knew that one, surprisingly.
That's crazy, to be completely honest. Also,
yeah, apparently
yes.
He wants his money back.
Hey, no. Come on. That is a great fact. As far as I'm concerned, I learned that one. What about elephants? I have a great fun fact about elephants if someone wants to redeem one about that. But anyways, the fish is apparently nothing that we've ever recognized before. It is some branded gear called Barramundi, I think. But it's apparently just a brand that Wade Georgeson is a fan of, as he has informed me in Discord of. So I have fact-checked that. And also, Adam Strange asking about the playlist, Saagar, which I think we both have some input on.
Oh man, there's a couple good songs on there. One in particular that I actually had a favorite of was If I Die Young by the Glee cast. That one was pretty good. And I think on that list needs to be added, Do You Think You're Better Off Alone, the EDM remix. I think that one also deserves to be on there, Logan Sargent.
Not Logan, Adam Strange.
Oh, for the Logan Sargent playlist, excuse me, Adam Strange.
I also have a recommendation to the playlist as well. This is probably a song that you have not heard, Adam, but The Rose by, let me double check, Amanda McBroom. That is a song that needs to be added to that playlist. I would imagine Neil Kerbel knows immediately what I'm talking about. And I'm sure there's some people in chat that are like, yes, that needs to be added to the Logan Sargent fanboy, or not fanboy, Logan Sargent Rest in Peace playlist. My goodness, we have way too many Twitch names that are similar to descriptions. I have made the same mistake that Saagar has made.
And another one that I thought should have gone on the list, when Mike said Rose, I was like, you mean Kiss from a Rose by Seal? Of course that needs to go on the playlist. Mike had no idea what I was talking about for a second. He was like, no, not that song.
No, that was not what I was talking about. Surprisingly, you do not, Neil? That's crazy. That's actually crazy that Neil doesn't know that song. Chat, somebody knows that song. Somebody better back me up that they know that song.
I cannot, Mike. I cannot in due conscience back you up on this one. I apologize.
My goodness, I'm just double checking to make sure everything is all good. Are we good on the YouTube side of things? I'm just seeing here. Things look to be... Are they lagging on YouTube, or was that just me? I think that was just me temporarily. Things seem to look good. Let me know if you are on the YouTube side of things. We're also live on YouTube as well, and we post YouTube shorts not every day, but we've been bulk posting them recently, and they've been doing all right. They've been picking up a little bit.
Good. I'm definitely glad to hear that, Mike. Things have been going good. How are things going on the Instagram side of things as well? Because we are on Instagram, right?
Yes, they're going a little slower, but we're still picking things up. Instagram, we're figuring out. Instagram it's different. Follow us on Instagram if you guys are interested.
Exclamation point Insta, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, or Instagram. Both of them will get the point across.
Perfect. Exclamation point Insta in the comments to help everybody out. Glad to see that things are going well all around on the social media platforms. And we've got some more clips to upload from last night that have yet to been uploaded. We had an amazing race yesterday with Jake Wells Racing. No spoilers though, but we had an amazing overtake opportunity. Ali Raza was involved in a few incidents, and Jeff Spangler as well involved in a few moments. Code Browns, as you were. It was a wet race at Coda.
I am disappointed that absolutely nobody knows The Rose by Amanda McBroom, because this is it's a 1980s song. How do I know a song from 1980 and nobody else that was in that era knows? It was on Family Guy. They sang it in the car on the way to Washington, D.C., I'm pretty sure, in that episode, if anyone caught that one. I think that was the one. They sang it in the car, I know that. But I just cannot believe that nobody knows what the heck that I'm talking about. Wait, Adam Strange? Oh, Adam did know it. Oh, Adam did. It was on Glee and Family Guy. I missed that. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Good. Adam, out of all the people in chat, Adam Strange knows it. And I know it. And nobody else does. On what planet do we live?
Adam Strange knows everything, though.
Except for anything that was pre-2000, which is this song, so I'm impressed that he knows it. I'm not repeating it, Eric. We've repeated it enough.
He's just trying to figure out what your guilty pleasures are, Mike.
It's a good song. It's not even... It's just a good song. Either way, we got cars out on circuit, and currently, Jaeger Karu up in a second position. Blink of an eye off the pace. We have Sasha joining us on the YouTube side of things. Let's go, Hansen in P1 today, question mark, as it stands. Well, not yet. Hansen currently without a time on the board, and will not be setting a time on the board either because they are disqualified, which means that they will be not setting a lap in quali. They will be out in the race. However, they will be starting, though, in pit lane. No, I did not, Eric.
Yeah, chopping it up. And yes, he did sing the song, Eric. So exclamation point, clip that.
I did not. To be fair, I sang it to Saagar. I did serenade Saagar before the stream, but it was not live on air when I sang it.
It was a private concert for one.
It was. And it was... I put a lot of effort into it, so.
He was really trying hard to serenade me or put me to sleep or kill me. I'm still not sure. The jury's out.
Yeah. Oh, and Adam Strange, on the note of Carson, I did ask him what his thoughts were on the Brat Summer remix. I haven't listened to it personally. However, Carson's words were, yes, I was a fan, but it really didn't add much to the overall album. Not bad, exclamation mark. That is Carson Cass's words.
Strongly opinionated, Carson Cass. You heard it here first, everybody. Jaeger Karu's chopping it up, chopping down that time a little bit. He was 2/10 slower than Junior, but now he's under just about a 10th now. He's gaining momentum here, lap after lap. Do you think Jaeger Karu has it in the cards to beat out on Mario Jr.?
As it stands, it seems the track is rubbering in quite a bit, and Jaeger is, yeah, as you said, just chipping away, chopping it down like a tree right now, but we all know if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, is it heard? Does that have any relevance to this right now? No, I just wanted to say it, to be completely honest. But Jaeger, he is, just getting beat there by Christian Julian, who decides they want to be a part of the conversation in the Sunoco BMW. The number 12 here, making his presence known, and into the first chicane. He has a long ways to go and a couple more laps to improve. Mario Jr., he has no chance of improving. The track is done for him. He was in the first 10 minutes of qualifying.
Wow, really great job out of Christian Julian. Really surprising that there's another driver really throwing it into the mix right now, splitting Mario Jr. and Aaron Silva. Of course, we have our split qualifying odds and evens, so the evens are running around right now, giving us the best of their abilities and getting the optimum track time that they possibly can. And we see someone going off. That's Wilson Ortiz, but he's going to be able to get another lap in just due time. Hopefully everybody was able to watch the track guide with TRACKILICIOUS to find out the best way to navigate all of these corners, as a lot of the drivers are having excursions at Ascari 1 and Ascari 2.
Indeed. Also, Adam and everybody that is a fan of Carson Cass, I am going to plug this right now. Carson is currently live on Twitch over on the Syracuse Twitch channel. I'm posting the link there in the Twitch page if you guys are interested. And why not? I'll throw it over in the YouTube side of things if you are on the YouTube side of things. Go check it out. Go give Carson some love on the YouTube chat, or the Twitch chat. Go show him that, yeah, he's made it. So yeah, he's doing well. I can't watch it, unfortunately. I wish I could. He told me that he went live at 5 o'clock, and I was like, oh no. That's exactly when we go live. Awesome.
Perfect timing, Carson. You've already forgot all about us, what we do on Mondays.
But yes, go give him some love. Go and head over to that stream and check it out. Definitely stick around for the TRACKILICIOUS, obviously. But Rocket League, you know? Watch some Rocket League.
Getting to the line, Christian Julian was unable to improve that last lap of 58.575. Compared to his 157.6. The 157.6 is also what Mario Jr. was able to put down, and Christian Julian's efforts will be ended now as the IC Sunco car is pulling over at the end of the first chicane.
Pulling over, pulling through it. Yeah, both are applicable in that case. That was certainly not the line he was looking for, and he does just abandon his qualifying as he wasn't going to get another lap out.
The chicane was merely a suggestion, Mike Nause.
No, it's not. Please take the chicane. Logan Sargent fan, first time chatter. Oh no. Jaeger Karu, first time in the barrier tonight.
That was a big shunt into the barrier. Hopefully he's doing all right. Didn't break a wrist there.
Always take your hands off the steering wheel in the event of a crash. Most of 90% of the time, but it depends.
Especially if you have a direct drive wheelbase.
Yes. 10 out of 10 segue. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. Seth Lincoln. He is the last one to the line. Will he be improving? No, he will not be improving. I'm just going to spoil it right now. He doesn't practice his pit entry either, and that will be qualifying. Done and dusted. Mario Jr., the limit road. The road is not limited to him. He takes pole position. Aaron Silva, his teammate, in fourth. Christian Julian separating them with Jaeger Karu in the podium sitting positions, at least preliminarily. How is Morera going? Morera, well, we will find out when we meet all of our drivers, though we have 2 minutes and 45 seconds, which is longer than my song, so we will wait momentarily before I start the song. And the funky beats and the sexy sax, however you want to describe it, will arrive, I assure you. The GT4 tire drop-off is quick, always unlikely to improve. Yeah, that's fair. They only do 2 runs.
Yeah.
We will hopefully that doesn't affect the race too much. Logan to drive Indy practice in November? Let's go. Either way, let's get into it. I think this is about the time to start the rundown, and starting us off on pole position, it is Mario Jr., the limit road for BR in the number 139. Christian Julian alongside in the Sunoco BMW with Jaeger Karu in the Jaeger Prime AMG in third. Aaron Silva, 4th quickest for the Limit Road McLaren in the number 57. Dr. Porkchop comes home in P5. Colin Sugg, 6th quickest in the Slug Racing number 34 with Wilson Ortiz in 7th. Luke Nelson, 8th fastest with Pedro Arntoni company for him in P9. Seth Lincoln rounding out your top 10 in the AO Racing with the likes of Chris Saunders company for him in the Allison Racing in P11. Jeff Franks, 12th quickest with Wade Georgeson coming up behind in 13th. Ryan Eason, 14th fastest for the Jurassic Racing Audi. Aaron John coming home here for the number 24 in P15, the Indian driver. Can he find the position? He's currently ahead of Cody Groves, the 115, the number starting in 16th for the Foxfire Racing. RL Brown in 17th for the 996 with Vincent Morera in 18th. Brian Menser, 19th quickest with Alex Hansen in P20. Rally Dutchy, 21st, and rounding out the back of the grid, last but not least, on his typical starting position, is Gustavo Castanova. Going for the last to first challenge as always, and he's always making up ground. The sexy saxes, and like I say, it is what it is. We have missed time. There's not enough drivers in the grid. We'll just keep the music rolling in the background. I'm not going to abruptly stop it or anything like that. While we have our outlap, as Twitch is reminding me that there's an automatic ad coming, I'm going to run a little ad right now, just a quick 30-second one. So if that's something that annoys you, well, it's September. Use your Twitch Prime sub if you do have Amazon Prime, or you can get a discounted sub using your regular monies and hard-earned cash, and we appreciate all of the support that goes here. But we do have a little 30-second ad on the way, just so we don't have to worry about the one at the start of the race. Can't wait to see my terrible livery on stream. What's your in-game name? Or what's your name, Squashmonger? That's the, Are you... I'm assuming that is... Wade Georgeson, I would assume? Actually, I don't know who that it would be. Is it Wade Georgeson?
I can't remember 100%. Wade Georgeson has the amazing livery, the 707.
Yeah, it is Wade. Did he change it? I wonder if he changed some stuff up. Let's take a look. Going to a deep dive. No, it's just the... I think it's just the same old route. Maybe, was the Alpine star on the front before?
I believe so, yeah.
I feel like I missed that. Too busy looking at everything else to recognize the one brand that I actually recognize. And, you know, mine is the big T on the top and the Shell logo. I guess those are recognizable brands. Who doesn't recognize Trackalicious, obviously? The 707 there. Plastered on the top like a NASCAR, making it nice and easy for us spotters, like you were saying last week, Saagar.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love everything about that. It's got a beautiful NASCAR-type theme to it. Big 707 on the side, and you gotta love it when the driver number matches the livery number as well. Just really goes to show how much effort these drivers are putting into their liveries to make sure that they look really nice and custom and sleek.
What's the license plate say? Are you trying to literally get your own livery flexed on stream? Hey, I can respect that. Australia, mate, except for the fact that you doubled up the license plate there a little bit. You forgot to accidentally make the layer invisible. Sorry there, mate. You'll double the layer up on Photoshop. Oh, that went offensive all of a sudden.
Oh, that's not me. I'm in the open race, he says.
Oh. Well, that's not Wade Georgeson then in Twitch chat.
Hey, Gustavo Casanova starting from the pits lane.
That's not how Aussies speak. What are you talking about?
Oh no, I have a better fake Aussie than that. Oh my goodness. I can't do it now.
I'll admit I didn't put much effort into it. I'm a little tired here tonight, chat. That's my excuse. But you know, I can get the especially on Bathurst. I need to embrace my inner Bathurst, you know, that's the thing, right? I just haven't been kicked in the face by a wallaby in a while, and it's just, you know, you need that every now and then to have some life being embedded into your soul to be a true Australian, I feel. If you're not being regularly engaged with random wildlife, then you're just not Australian. It just is what it is.
Mike, the actual test is, what is the turn called after Skyline at Bathurst?
The Dipper?
The Dipper. That's right. It's not the Dipper. It's definitely not the Dipper. It's the Dipper.
Yes, the Australians do not have the ER or in their vernacular. It's vernacular. Mate. Either way. Let's hope these drivers have practiced this race and gotten their starts under control, because it's Monza, everybody. We all know what that means, and at least we hope we don't. Either way, 20 minutes is on the clock. The drivers are lined up 2x2 Noah's Ark formation. I'm Mike Nause. Joined with me tonight is Saagar Bakshi. The drivers are lined up, ready to go. All 5 lights are on as they approach the line here. The lights ready to go out. As we go green, 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 and Mario Jr. is already pretty much gone. Behind that, though, it's not the same story. Karu getting off to a relatively slow start with Aaron Silva as well. Colin Sugg getting into the mix here as we go down into the braking zone. Who is going to yield? Someone has to give. Up at the front, Christian Julian, though, making a challenge onto Mario Jr. wasn't much of a hearted effort. Everybody there on their best behavior. Too wide they go through formation. Lovely job, Dr. Porkchop trying to pick up the scraps here as Colin Sugg has gotten a bad run out of the chicane through Curva Grande, down towards the second chicane now. It's going to be Dr. Porkchop on the outside. He has a little bit of a nose, but from behind, Aaron Silva looking to make it 3 wide. Is he going to? No, he backs out. Great okay, never mind. He doesn't back out. He decides again. Less than ideal decision. Makes some bumping and banging, but everybody else gets off no harm. Whoa, what a hip check from behind.
Oh, a few hip checks there right off the start. We saw that McLaren go side by side with that Camaro. I thought that was going to end in utter disaster, but no, the drivers made it through mostly clean, thank goodness. Aaron Silva, like you said, not making the best decision early on, but this is actually heating up right behind. There's Seth Lincoln getting caught in a sandwich between an Audi and another Porsche in the Camaro. Wowza. These drivers are really not holding back on opening lap 1. Maybe they backed off for T1, but not now. Here we go through the chicane. It's going to be neat and tidy, single file line. Chris Sunderson doing a great job of negotiating that one without too much damage between all the drivers. And Aaron, a 3-way battle going on in front of Aaron Silva. No, that's Pork and Plug again.
No, it's Aaron Silva currently side by side with Dr. Porkchop. Ahead of them, Luke Nelson, and that is going to be Aaron Silva securing his position. Aaron went aggressive on that lap 1, but it paid off a little bit here. Now he has Luke Nelson up the road. Up at the front, though, it's pretty much a, well, bit of a, oh, what has happened? Oh, what the heck is happening to Seth Lincoln? Seth Lincoln has hit the, what? Let's go back and, it's all right. We'll just pay no mind to that one. Pedro Antoni is going to, holy send and a half from the AMG. That is Aaron Silva. No, who is that? That's Aaron John that has made a bit of a full send effort and, well, is going to be picking up a warning as a result, I presume.
I'm a bit speechless there. That was quite a big lunge. I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Seth Lincoln as he bumped and banged into the wall on the pit start straight. I'm going to play this one back one more time for myself, and I'll give us all a recap here in a second. He goes through Parabolica okay, and we see Aaron Silva going offline just a moment there.
That was brutal, what we just watched. Jeff Franks kind of getting caught up in a concertina effect right there. And Aaron John, he is going to manage to negotiate that position by, though that was a, again, a bit of an aggressive effort midway through here. These drivers are definitely being a bit more respectful than I think in the previous races, which is good to see, but there is still a little bumping and banging, but that is racing at the end of the day. Up at the front, though, it has been very, very solid. Karu Great pace in the AMG. Christian Julian, same can be said, as well as Mario Jr., who's currently walking away with this. Colin Sugg in 4th position with Luke Nelson sort of spreading out up at the front. Wilson Ortiz, he's facing the wrong way in Ascari. Oh, you gotta hold your brakes. Oh, no, this is not the best time. Okay, thankfully nobody was coming. There are still people about to arrive, though. If you keep left out of shot, yes, you do. Okay, side by side goes Rally Touchy and Cody Groves. My goodness.
The 997 was involved with the 202 of Seth Lincoln coming down the straight after Parabolica. Just collided, ricocheted, and ACC physics took over. And that's what sent Seth Lincoln into a wall there. And the 997 being Pedro Artoni, who's sitting in in 9th place. I need to hydrate. Stand by.
Somebody redeem a hydrate for this man while Wilson Ortiz gets overtaken by Ryan Eason. Wilson getting a little bit of damage here early. Ryan, he is going to be sailing by with that Audi V10 power into the braking zone. And no issues to be found except for Cody Groves, who's going relatively slow ahead. He's managed to catch him up in a hurry into the braking zone.
And Colin Slugg's gained 2 positions so far. Luke Nelson's gained 3 positions. Aaron Silva's down 2. Porkchop's down 2 off that away start. Sanderson's up 3. But the big winner right now is Alex Hansen with 10 positions gained overall, starting in 20th position after his DSQ from qualifying, making up 10 positions. It's got to feel good for him.
Yeah, definitely a great effort early on here. And looking up ahead, we have a bit of a fight for P7. Dr. Porkchop has found himself currently being hunted. Chris Saunderson, 3 positions gained for him. Pedro Artoni relatively, oh my goodness, taking a little too much curb there. Is going to be now coming under threat from Alex Hansen, who is trying to make up positions in a hurry. He's already the biggest gainer. He's looking to make it potentially 1 more on this lap. Is he even going to wait for next lap? I'm not sure. He is the run into the Parabolica. Full send baseball. Alex Hansen, he backs out though. It was just a bit of a feint, but you can see he's on a much better line here. The Porsche is going to have to lift off the throttle, though. Flashes the headlights at Pedro Artoni. This is sort of, unnecessary, but I guess trying to get into the head there of the Brazilian driver.
If it slows you down and you want to fill up the rear view mirror, flash those headlights, and that Porsche is going to have no problem getting along the inside of Pedro Artoni. And this is Alex Hansen doing work right now, catching back up at the first chicane, and Artoni goes a little wide and deep, pulls off the Lewis Hamilton or the Max Verstappen line going over that sausage, and Alex Hansen's gained another one. He's up 11 overall.
Yeah, and that was dicey momentarily. Chris Saunderson got on the brakes, I think, much earlier than either one of these drivers expected, and they almost ended up, I think, having a bit of a scare moment with going so quickly towards the back bumper of the Audi. You can see the confidence on the brakes for the Porsche there compared to Chris Saunderson. I'm just thinking it's a matter of time right now before Alex will find this overtake, but right now, you sort of got to look in his rearview mirror, as objects in your mirror are certainly larger than they appear, as that is a full-sized Camaro waiting in the wing mirror.
Yeah, full-sized Camaro, not a full-size Porsche. That thing is massive sitting behind a Porsche, or even more comical looking behind an Alpine. That thing is a little squirrely little car. It looks like it's a clown car almost, but this Porsche is doing great things. Fastest lap right now is for Mario Jr. with a 157.7, and I suspect Alex Hansen will get a 157 or 158 here produced shortly, but his best is a 159.527.
It certainly is, and we have a full onboard lap redemption for the 997. That's currently the car that is behind the car that we were on board with there. As we hop on to the passenger seat, I suppose, here with Pedro Artoni. He's going to be beginning his next lap. Also welcome Steven Tomazic. And a fun fact, being redeemed from Grumpy Geriatric Gamer. Let's why don't we talk a little bit about, no, we're not on board with an AMG, so that fact is irrelevant. Why don't we talk about the fact that this has been home to the closest race, some of the closest races, in all of history. In 1971, Monza hosted the closest Formula One finish with Peter Gethin as starting the final lap in P4, and he went to overtake Ronnie Peterson by 0.01 of a second. And the top 5 finishers were only separated by 0.061, 61 thousandths of a second in the top 5. Also, 3 of the top 10 closest finishes happened here. The 1969 Italian Grand Prix saw Jackie Stewart and Jochen Rindt, as well as John Surtees and Jack Brabham in 1967.
Wow, that is awfully close racing. Holy smokes. And before they started keeping track of the hundreds and thousands, I'm sure, difference between drivers, that's pretty surprising that they're able to get it down to that close of a margin. That's pretty darn fascinating.
It's also Italy. So, like, I'm not saying they lied a little bit about the statistics, but Italians, if anyone's gonna flare up a little bit of the drama, you know, I'm not gonna say Italy would be the country to do so, but I'm also not saying they're not the country to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone better
100%.
fact check that. You know, and with modern technology, I would fact check that. If you can't, but.
Squatchmonger, I only use the term swirly whirly endearingly, okay? I do it with love and affection, as Chris Sunderson in that Audi makes a look at Dr. Porkchop. Doesn't go for it here at Parabolica, but trying to set this one up for turn 1 now. He's got a good run going on him right now. He's not in the Jurassic Park car. He's running it pretty firmly, though, behind Dr. Porkchop. Dr. Porkchop shakes off the slipstream. That Audi's actually falling back by quite a bit. And just as I say that, it's Linky's back into a slipstream very quickly, and now the gap is less than 1 second. And Alex Hansen lurking in the background, and that Audi deep under the braking zone, able to maintain its momentum here throughout turn 1.
The Allison Racing car, by the looks of it, I'm not sure they have an Allison engine strapped inside of that. Of course, that'd be an aircraft engine, if anyone is curious what the heck I'm talking about. The World War II airplane, but either way, or manufacturer. I love the livery, though. It's a very nice livery. I'm not sure that's what it's referencing. I thought you were going to
refer to Allison Transmissions.
I'm not sure which one it's referencing, but it could be either, to be completely honest. Yeah, you'll have to let us know, whoever is the livery maker of that livery. But either way, the action at hand, Jaeger Karu has dropped a position to Colin Sugg. We missed that one, unfortunately. And now Jaeger is lurking in the mirror of Colin. That Porsche, been punchy as ever, to be completely honest. Very fast in a straight line, which is weird to say compared to the AMG. It's just kind of had the legs over Karu. I wonder if he's using more of a high downforce setup. But as we go now down towards the final stretch, Jaeger should have a much better exit. But look at that, even with the slipstream, as we get down to the end of the corner, of course, that's when the AMG is going to start to have a better advantage, but it just isn't gaining enough. Oh, it's gaining a little too much, in fact. Deep, deep, deep into the final corner, and Jaeger Karu is going to lose not 1, but 2 positions as a result.
Wow, that was a bit of a late-breaking move, a little Lewis Hamilton special there. He tried to go for a move when the slipstream, but didn't quite have it there, completely planted. And maybe he may have let off the brakes to try to make sure that he made the turn very quickly there, but now he's actually under threat from the car behind on top of that, of Aaron Silva.
Yeah, Aaron here has been on a bit of a seemingly recovery drive. He's down 2 positions from where he started, but you can see the fire in his eyes when he's driving. He's made some very aggressive moves thus far. They've worked out for him, and let's see if he's going to make some more. Jaeger Karu is going to be having to go on the defensive relatively soon if they don't pick up the pace. Luke Nelson is slipping out of sight right now, and that is going to be crucial to keep the slipstream. Here at Monza, that can make the difference of not just 2 or 3 miles an hour, but 5 or 6 miles an hour down that start-finish straight. It's about 0.75 of a mile long, and easy to overtake when you have a sitting duck like the Jaeger Prime with no car to help it out. And we'll see. That's going to be Luke Nelson ahead, but Aaron Silva, he needs to use this lap to gain up to the back bumper of Jaeger, but Jaeger's doing a great job of responding right now.
Ryan Eason in the background just got through on Cody Groves pretty seamlessly there down the start-finish straight and down turn one. It was pretty cut and dry. It was a good battle to keep an eye on for just a moment, but in a blink of it, it was always over with. Here's Alex Hansen chasing down Chris Sunderson as well. 4/10 separating these two drivers, and that Audi yeets it over the curb at the second chicane, and now Alex Hansen squaring this one up like a T-ball player.
And Jaeger Karu drops it through a Ascari to Aaron Silva. I think we kind of caught that out of shot there. The cameraman not quite doing the greatest job of catching it, but either way, Jaeger kind of caught sleeping at the wheel. It seemed, I'm not sure if that was a mistake or what, but either way, Aaron Silva kind of bullies his way by, and he's managed to go up into 5th position. Next up the road, Luke Nelson and Colin Sugg, and you can see right now, if these two have a melee, they're going to be having a three-way fight within the next lap as well. 5 minutes and 43 seconds left, Saagar. I don't think one of these positions is secure.
Not one of these positions is secure. You're absolutely right, Mike Nause. 158.6 for Colin Slug, 157.8 for Nelson, and Aaron Silva's with a 158.1. Jaeger Karu with a 59.5 those last laps around, and Alex Hansen trying to go around the long way around Chris Sunderson. Will he get it secured? This is all going to be cut and dry before we get to the next chicane. Alex Hansen's really planting it firmly there on the inside line, but backs out of it out of thought preservation and lets a car go through. But there's Aaron Silva spun around at the chicane, and that was a position gain for both drivers, but not the way that Alex Hansen expected it to go.
But then Alex Hansen manages to gain the position again over Chris Sanderson, so the job does get done at the end of the day. We missed the real overtake, but that was a chaotic little bit of action right there. Moving on to the next little chaotic bit of action, Luke Nelson thinking about it into the entrance of Ascari. He goes full send onto the curbs, and on no planet is that move ever going to be on. Luke Nelson obliterates Colin Sugg, and definitely a controversial one.
Ouch. Ouch indeed. And that allows Jaeger Karu to get back into touch with these two that he has been chasing down for quite some time now. That 159, 157, 158 really isn't going to matter anymore, as Jaeger Karu was able to gain at least a second and a half from that incident that he just watched between the 33 and the 34 aptly.
Yeah, that'll be a little daylight shining in the darkness of Jaeger Karu's race. It started off very well, 3rd position. But let's look at the bright side here for Jaeger. This is a driver that wasn't necessarily expecting to be in the top 5 last season, and the amount of progress they have made this season already has been incredible, managing to finish top 5 in this race as it's looking right now. But overall in this championship, Saagar, do you have the results up? Because I don't, apparently, because I know he's had some good results.
I'll pull it up right now, sir.
Here, I think I actually have it up in time. I didn't stall enough to the point where I could delay it. But either way, Jaeger Karu, as it stands in the championship, is in 18th, but with a P5 and a DNS, a P6 and a 25. It's been race 2. Race 2 has been the real killer for Jaeger Karu, so needing to transition this result over into the next 20-minute race is going to be crucial.
Yeah, his consistency is really coming to form right now as Luke Nelson still chases down Colin Slug. And this is the battle between 4th and 3rd here. The battle for the podium rages on as Slug has a little bit of a moment there, opening up the door for that Aston Martin to try to chase him down, but not too much. Hopefully we won't see a repeat of what we saw earlier. That would be unfortunate to see the same mistake happen twice. The whole point of the rookie series is to push the limits of your skill and then try to get better every single lap. And these drivers are doing just that, as that Aston Martin turns into a bicycle, gets up on 2 wheels, and now it's a dragged Parabolica that Aston Martin is really tucked in there. I said, of course, a competition there on the wing of this Porsche. And we're looking back at excuse me, Nelson here, and he's tried to go for it, but maybe not enough momentum here on the entrance to Parabolica. He's doing a good job of keeping it tucked in. We got 2 minutes left on the clock, just enough for one more lap, I think. This one plus one more if the 193 doesn't slow down by just a tenth or two.
And now we're going to be in that slipstream. Luke Nelson, He's waited, and he's waited. Is this his time to pounce? It doesn't seem like it's gonna be. He lifts off the throttle early, but he has a late look into the chicane. He sees a window, and he's gonna try to take it. In fact, he's gonna grab it with both hands and open it up. Colin Sugg really allowed that one to happen, to be completely honest. He went very early on the brakes, and Luke Nelson there to take advantage of it. He gets the job done when the getting gets tough.
Yeah, really good overtake, really well executed. But the 34 there was, like you said, complicit in that overtake for sure. Just pumping the brakes and almost parking it there on the apex of turn 1 and holding on for dear life pretty much as the 33 made its way around the long way on the outside line.
Yeah, certainly it did. And Colin Sugg now dropping pace after that. Trying to keep onto the bumper. It's going to be crucial as Jaeger Karu is waiting in the midst. You can see him there. The AMG in the background waiting to pounce here on its fellow country car. I guess they're both German machines here battling it out. That wasn't the most clever. Oh, but we do have a clever battle here with Alex Hansen and Dr. Porkchop. These two have managed to find each other once more on circuit. And Alex Hansen, he is our biggest... Oh, no. Monkey see, monkey do there as Dr. Porkchop goes careening into the gravel trap. And Alex Hansen says, you know what? I'm going to join you. 3 wide now as they go down the back stretch. And the winner out of all of this is Chris Saunderson, who just laughs and waves as he drives on by.
And Sanderson, who Hansen had done a good job of getting past earlier, now has to do the move not once but twice this race. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself into the teeth for that one, especially on this recovery drive that he's been on so far. And Alex Hansen has gained 13 positions overall, started in 20th, now up to 7th, but wishes he had one more notch under his belt, that's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely does, and he's going to be trying to make that dream become a reality right now. The Audi is a bit of a sitting duck down into the braking zone. The Porsche, that's one of its massive skills, and it's going to be shown in true stride. Alex Hansen up into 6th. Chris Sanderson, really not much he could do.
Great overtaking opportunity there. Great recovery for him as well to get that position back. And is he going to have enough time to try to catch back up to the car in front? I don't think so. Alex Hansen's got a 1-second gap right now to Colin Slug, but Colin Slug has been complicit in a few overtakes now, maybe happy with the way his race has gone. And there's Sanderson losing it at the second chicane and then just taking out Dr. Porkchop. And we're going to go 3 wide. And there is, Mike, can I say it? Calamity.
It is chaos and calamity here on the final lap. That was, I think everyone saw my reaction in the waiting there as I was just, the Audi's posture didn't look right to me. And unfortunately, my prediction was correct, but Alex Hansen here, he wants to find himself another position. Up into 6th here, is going to be looking for the fight, but either way, our current race leader is Mario Jr., and he is rounding the Parabolica as we speak. For race 1 here, Mario Jr., round 3 of the Rookie Championship. He is looking to take the win here for the first one tonight. There is another 20-minute race coming up after this, and the starting order is going to be in the order that the drivers finish in. Mario Jr. has earned himself a ticket for the top. Christian Julian up next in 2nd with Luke Nelson coming home in 3rd. That's Seth Lincoln on a different lap. Jaeger Karu behind in 5th. Wait, hold on. Luke Nelson in 4th with Jaeger Karu in 5th. Colin Sugg coming home in 6th. Alex Hansen, an incredible drive, to be fair. 13 positions gained, managing to come up to 7th, all the way down from 20th. Chris Saunderson 8th, Aaron Silva 9th, and Jeff Franks in 10th.
That was close between Alex Hansen and Colin Slug at the line. 3/10 separating them. I thought Alex Hansen was going to square him up at Parabolica to finish this one out. Holy Toledo. That was a blazing lap from Alex Hansen. Did a 158.3 compared to the 204 of Colin Slug. That was a phenomenal race ending, except all the crashing and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Driving standards, again, I don't want to say a lack there to be desired. It's the rookie season. I mean, it's the rookie series. We expect a little bit of mistakes to be made. And this one, wasn't the worst. Again, we've seen in this championship worse racing, but the problem is in previous championships, we've seen a lot better racing from the rookies. That's kind of why we've had a very high standard set in the rookie league, and unfortunately, we just haven't quite been meeting it recently. We've been trying with the track guides. Again, we highly encourage any of the rookies to watch our track guide. I know that some people say, oh, but track guides, they don't work for me. That is a load of crap. I'm just going to call it as it is. Track guides will help anybody. If you think that you're not going to benefit from track guides, there needs to be a mindset shift because it's just, they are inherently helpful. If you're not better than the pros, I'm sorry.
Especially these track guides that are specific to the GT4s and the tracks that we're running that are done on a weekly basis. I think it's very hard to argue that these track guides are not tailor-made to the Tracklicious team, that they're not very specific to what you guys are looking for. They are very much exactly what the driver should be looking at. The amount of detail that Amadeo goes through on every single corner needs to be highlighted because he does a phenomenal job of really uncovering the secret sauce to every single one of these corners. It's not just about, oh, you got to brake here, you want to get on throttle here. The beauty of it is that he describes the secret sauce, the concoction of getting on throttle. Here's where you want your tires on the curbs. Here's where you don't want your tires on the curb. And then we'll go into great detail to explaining why that is the case. You want the car undulated. You want the car balanced this way. You want the car balanced this way. And these aren't setup derived tips either, Mike Nause. These aren't just, oh, because I'm an alien and I'm running an alien setup, this is the way the car behaves. These are very generic, and especially in the GT4s, there's not much you can change with setups anyways.
Exactly.
So these are all just generic ACC and GT4 specific terms that he's using to provide so much detail and be so concise with what he's saying. It's well worth the watch. I'm not even racing the GT4s, and I watch them every single week because of how much I love the detail and how much track knowledge you get out of it. It's a wonderful, wonderful tool that the Tracklicious team has offered. Please, 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 for the love of God, take advantage of the tools that we're given.
Yeah, and on top of that, if you guys have time, it is going to be every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Not only do you get to learn about the track, as John Hawley has pointed out in chat, you get to ask any question that you have, anything that you're struggling with. You can come in and say, hey, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong here. Can you help me out? And we will answer that for you. Please, rookies, take advantage of this. If you're watching this VOD back, I highly, highly recommend checking out our Tuesday streams, not just because we're trying to get more publicity over there. No, those streams are specifically to help you guys out. That's why we're doing them. And not enough people are taking advantage of it. You can tell the ones that are. That's the thing, is you can tell the drivers that are because they're doing significantly better. They're actually gaining success out of these tips. And I think Jaeger Karu, one of the drivers that definitely takes advantage of that. I know, I think Aaron's or Colin Sugg, but don't quote me on that. But there are plenty of these drivers in here. And again, we highly encourage you guys to ask questions because there are not enough questions asked on that stream.
And it's a great segment of information as well. I mean, just having the opportunity, like you said, to be able to engage a professional or an esports level driver is just a great tool to have. Like you said, Jay Hall, asking those questions, getting the most for your money, because you're not spending a dime most likely on it, but getting the most for your time as well. And especially if you're here week after week racing in these series, it's well worth the time investment to get what you want out of these series.
Yeah, and if you also want to invest a little bit of money into your sim racing career and potentially betting yourself, Amadeo also does coaching as well, and his Discord is posted he needs to send me a permanent Discord link because he always sends me one that's a timeout. I need to teach him how to do that. But either way, if you guys if you guys are interested, DM me and I will get you guys a link to his Discord, and yeah, get involved there because we offer 15% off. Or he's offering 15% off if you guys are coming from Trackilicious. So check that out. Take advantage of this. This is why we're doing this. Again, it's for you guys. This is not for us.
And if you do take him up on the track guide and the coaching sessions, make sure you come prepared to those meetings as well. His time is valuable. Your money is valuable. be prepared to ask some questions. Have a video ready of one of your best laps out there. Have a video of one of your average laps to be able to showcase as well, is usually the tool that I found when coaching situations. But be sure to share some of those details with Amadeo and have your questions prepared. Don't just go in saying, well, here's my lap, or here's what I'm doing wrong, or show him just an average lap. Show him your best, show him your average, show him something in the middle, show him one of your worst corners possible. That way he can really help you out and show you how to exploit what you're doing to get a better turn in or get a better corner.
Yeah, and he has his coaching. Again, I'm not sure how he fully runs his coaching, but definitely, if you do, check it out. He's a very great guy. Very Italian as well. He's very entertaining.
Does he say spicy meatball?
No, not
that
quite.
Kind of
but he did teach me how to say the track. And oh my goodness, I didn't say it either. The Autodromo Nazionale de Monza. So, of course, that's the track that we are racing at tonight. Grazie mille to... no, that was terrible. Grazie mille, I think, is better, but I didn't put enough inflection on the E. Either way, my mouth doesn't move in the ways that the Italian language should. I don't got the flow.
Keep trying, Mike. I want to hear grazie mille one more time.
Eventually. I'm not going to spoil it.
I like hearing Mike struggle with things. It makes me feel like I'm a normal caster sometimes. Like Nause is actually a person. What's up, Mario Jr. in the YouTube chat? Hey, any rookies driving the Camaro, if you're here and you shift at 6,500, don't rev it out. There you go. Tip from Squatchmonger. Downshift
slower than you think, too. That's another good tip. If you downshift too quickly, then you will turn into Dan. Well, no, Dan was in the Aston. You will turn into Devin Anthony, who also blew up the Camaro's small block for downshifting too quickly, locking the brakes up and exploding the engine. So don't do that if you're driving the Camaro as well.
But I'm here for a good time, not a long time, Mike Nause.
You know, if that's the case, then brake as hard as you want and downshift as fast as you want, because your engine will not last more than a lap.
Boom, 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 boof.
The sound it made was quite impressive. Honestly, that if we were making YouTube clips at the time, that would have been a viral clip, to be completely honest.
Someone downshift your Camaro so we can clip that, please. Make sure we're on you before you blow up your motor, is what Mike Nause is trying to say.
Request a full onboard lap and then go and explode your engine and ruin your race. But don't worry, it's for content. No, don't do that. You don't need to do that.
We're doing it for the likes and the subs, everybody. Think about how successful Tracklicious can become with your participation and assistance.
Or another way that it could become successful is by joining the Discord if you haven't already, !Discord. That's also good enough. Or hit the like button, hit the follow, or just stick around and watch. That's all we really care at the end of the day. You guys are why we're here, so. Nice spelling. Wait, did you spell it right?
I did.
Why didn't it work?
I don't know. Don't blame me for that.
Wait, why are the commands broken? Oh my goodness! How did the command? How
did you break Nightbot?
That's what I wonder.
I was gonna say, do you have StreamerBot enabled? But that's not a StreamerBot thing.
Yes, I have StreamerBot enabled, but checking.
That's a Nightbot thing. We are checking. We are checking. Charles. We are checking. Mike. One moment.
Has there been?
Did you remember to pit?
It's like it should work.
The bot is on strike. Adam Strange says, not just a break. He's on strike.
Bruh. Wait, did Instagram work earlier when you did it?
It did.
So
maybe I broke it with Insta.
So Nightbot has broken since the start of the stream. Excellent. Excellent. Gotta love live TV, chat.
Gotta love it.
Let's get into the race, shall we?
The Brazilian driver asked, need to exit the server. Yes, exit the server and rejoin. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to get in. Actually, just a minute to get in.
Yep. Hurry up, leave and reconnect, refresh your server browser and join in if you haven't already. We always restart the server because we have to keep the order. We have no qualifying session for the second race. The order is as it was in the finishing of the previous. Why are
someone left the server?
Yeah, ACC's figuring itself out right now. I don't think this is right. No, there we go. Never mind. I think it is right. Mario Jr. has been teleported to a non-existing grid slot. I think we're good. The Brazilian drivers are reconnecting. Brilliant. The bot exploded like the Camaro's engine. You're so right. But why, though?
I think we've got everybody in now. 22 drivers taking to the grid. Perfect timing, everybody. We still got the bot on strike.
Yeah, you know,
the Nightbot is revolting.
We just won't worry about it. It's in the description of both the YouTube and in the description of the Twitch. There you go. That's the best way to get it. Mario Jr. saying, let's go, boys. Are we gonna get the sexy sack
one more time?
Nah, I was too late. I'm fine. I'm too tired.
Oh, man. I was getting ready to do the chicken bob.
Nah. Only 22 drivers out there as well. Mario Jr. starting us off on pole position with Julian in second, Jaeger Carr third, Aaron Silva fourth, Dr. Porkshot fifth, Sug in sixth, Wilson Ortiz not hitting drive-in time, unfortunately. Starting in pit lane, Luke Nelson in 8th, Pedro Antoni in 9th, and Seth Lincoln rounding out your top 10.
Where is Hansen? Alex Hansen's in 15th place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, Jaeger Carr was right. The positions are not correct. Even though Mario Jr. got teleported to a position that does not exist, the positions aren't right. But we're doing it live, everybody. It is what God has given us, apparently.
Yeah, this is not in our control, chat. So yeah. Hashtag blame Eric.
Blame Eric or blame Chronotis?
Just blame Eric. I don't know who to blame. I'm not sure who the actual person to blame is in this case, so just blame Eric. It's just a general rule of thumb.
Gosh darn it, Eric. I'm shaking my fist at you very violently.
Upset gestures and whatnot. The positions need refreshed, yes. Blame Lando Norris. Was that like Lando? I don't know where my joke is going there. I blame all my issues on him. You know, Adam? Life might be easier if you didn't.
Ouch. The McLaren hate is strong with this one.
I mean, look, I get it. But either way.
I still don't get it. I still like Lando Norris, and maybe I'll lose a couple fans because of that. I'm sorry, Adam Strange.
I don't know. I like my life, though. You know? Touche, Adam. Like, Oscar and Pato, just not Lando. He's too much of a brat, I'm assuming? No, he's too much of a... Because brat is like a good thing now, isn't it?
Like Brat Summer being a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah. You see, you get the gist. See, Saagar, you're learning. I'm learning too, kids. With you, to be fair.
I'm learning. I'm getting real educated on this.
See, Brat's a good thing now. See, that's like I say, I corrected myself. Lando is not Brat. No, I know. I was just checking.
For the longest time, I was curious why you guys kept on talking about Brat Summer. I was like, this is the weirdest conversation ever.
I thought the same thing too, to be fair, when it was initially brought up. So, see what I did there?
Brat Summer. Yeah, no. I was like, okay, yeah, I like a good Brat.
What I did there. That's fine. That's fine. That was even if you were 6'5", that joke probably is still going over your head, to be honest. It just wasn't that funny.
Sorry, Mike Nause. Ha 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 ha. I got it.
Either way, drivers lined up. 2x2 Noah's Ark formation for race 2 tonight. We have the GT4 Open after this as well, but this is the final race for the rookies in round 3. GT4 Rookies Monza. Starting us off is going to be Mario Jr. in first position alongside Christian Julian for the start. I'm your host, Mike Nause. Joined alongside me tonight is Saagar Bakshi. As we approach the line, all 5 lights are out and we are green, heading down to the first corner. Christian Julian off to a relatively slow start compared to where he was in the lineup. Aaron Silva fully alongside onto Jaeger Karu behind that. Are we going to see a little bit of a dive bomb from Colin Sugg? He's going to potentially line it up, but no, discretion's the better part of valor, at least momentarily. Everybody else a little bump and little bang in there as everybody concertina's up, but it seems that it's not the end of the world except for Jeff Franks and the Camaro of Wade Georgeson getting clattered around with enough mid-air time to be served wine on that flight. He takes to the grass there, has a bit of a picnic as well, and that forces Chris Saunderson off very aggressively. Chris is not going to be happy with that defense. He's immediately back on the charge, though, on R.L. Brown to the outside line now of the second chicane. Oh, but it's going to be a fight and a half, and it seems R.L. Brown is going to take it, and that is the 46 of Brian Menser taking a little too much curb.
A little too much curb. I think there was a whole lot of curb and a whole lot of send involved there, Mike Nause. That was a lunge and a half for sure. And Pedro Artoni has a little bit of an excursion there as Varianti Ascari 2 and just goes off and into the dust there. Now Jaeger Caro under threat from Aaron Silva. A little side-by-side action as we head down into the third chicane now. Jaeger Caro on the inside line, being able to defend, and they go side by side through it. And it looks like the 57's able to negotiate that one very well, even bumping and banging over the curbs and getting a little unsettled over the sausages, but holding on to that momentum, doing a great job of doing so. There's Seth Lincoln in the background, getting a little squirrely out onto the dirty stuff part of the track there, but able to hold on just fine.
As we ride on the front splitter here of Dr. Porkchop, you can see in front of him P4, 3, and 2. I could have probably done that in a different order. But either way, down to the first chicane, they're going to be on the run. Lap 1 is complete and in the books. It's pretty calm up front, but the same story can't really be said for the mid-pack right now, as Chris Saunderson is fully alongside Wade Georgeson. Wade there getting to lose out in the drag race, but here we see the Camaro, the V8 muscle trying to pull alongside the V10. It's not enough. This Audi in a sandwich, and actually it's a lunge and a half from the Australian. Down under no longer, except he's going to have to stay there. He unfortunately gets shoved off into the gravel.
Yeah, that 707 really had it set up there, but that car in front, the number 18 Audi, was not complicit in that whatsoever. Did not want to let that one go. Went a little bit wide now, and we got AMG now battling it out. And the AMG goes off and into the dirt, trying to find some real estate in this dirty track. Can't find it, though. The BMW's nose to tail trickling in single file as they go through the second chicane and doing a good job of negotiating it. But the BMW battle has not finished. The 3 Germans, all want a piece of this action and working their way towards the top 10. And one BMW ends up going off of Moreira. Goes off and allows the AMG along the inside right now. Will it be tidy enough? Oh, plenty of space. The drivers are paying attention to each other and having good spatial awareness right now.
They certainly are, and the same could be set up ahead. Pretty much everywhere I look right now on the timing charts, there's at least 2/10, or rather, at most 2/10, it seems, separating these drivers. Down to Ascari, Jeff Franks goes for an on-the-grass pass, but it's a dive bomb and a half, and a torpedo into the side panel of Vincent Moreira.
Innocent bystander gets collected in that, unfortunately. Not much else to say. The AMG tried to go for the inside line, but that's really not where you go when you're trying to realize that you've outbraked yourself. You want to stay on the outside as much as possible and hopefully not collect your combatant that you're battling it out with, hopefully.
Yeah, ambitious but rubbish, unfortunately, as is often said.
Audi
that
on
was harsh.
Audi now.
Sorry.
Let's go let that one go, Mike. Audi on Audi chasing down the Camaro. The two Audi side by side on their way on the entry towards turn one, and the 18 chops the nose off the number 2, forces his way through, and there was a lot of rub in his racing there. And the number 34 of Colin Slug got turned around at turn 2. Let's see what happened here, Mike.
Oh no! Oh no, that wasn't the Aston Martin. Okay, wait, it is the Aston Martin. Never mind. It was a bit of a concertina, and unfortunately, just a slight misjudgment. That was from, I'm trying to find out who. That was from Luke Nelson, unfortunately. They just concertinaed up into the first chicane on the exit. Alex Hansen was going a little bit slower than everyone else expected. Rather than, I should say, than Luke Nelson expected. I think that, unfortunately, so who was it involved? I'm too tired. I'm so sorry.
You're all right.
Colin
Let's
Sugg,
switch over
Colin
to number
Sugg.
3 right now. The third place driver, the number 12, Christian Julian, chasing down Aaron Silva. This is the battle for the podium overall. The number 12 really trying to chop it up right now behind the number 57, doing a great job of getting through this third chicane, carrying a lot of momentum, and Jaeger Karu lurking and waiting in the wings right now, waiting for any opportunity to come his way. Christian Julian's getting that gap down. It's down to 2/10 and deep on the brakes here at Parabolica, doing a good job negotiating this corner. The gap is slinking forwards and backwards. I think the BMW might be able to carry its momentum a little bit better, though, as the gap comes up to around half a second. I think it's going to close down here towards the background. Here's Ryan Eason, Mr. Reason, overall for Jurassic Racing, chasing down another BMW, and goes on the inside line. And on the inside line of the 621 out of Parabolica, and down the front straight we go.
Yeah, I was more confused what happened there to Aaron John, as there was utter catastrophe on that lap. I'm not sure exactly what had occurred there, but either way, these two drivers seemingly making it out all right, and Ryan Eason, he has the defense for now. Can Rally Dutchy switch it up on exit? Doesn't seem to be the case. Is just going to bide his time and wait. Maybe going to be making a run on the exit of the Curva Grande down towards Della Roggia, but right now it seems the gap is a little bit more than he would have liked to see at this stage. Chris Saunderson going to be lining it up, though, potentially into the second chicane. You can see those two cars that we were just looking at in the background. Chris is a little late on the brakes. He's trying to set up his exit right now, as Pedro Arantoni is slow through the second bit, and that's because that's just the Camaro. It has to take a little bit of a more lumbering line. That Audi more nimble through the corners. That's the fascinating part about GT racing, is these cars all relatively the same lap times. However, they accomplish it in significantly different manners.
Yeah, a little update on that 24 and the number 18, Aaron John. He went off at the third chicane and then ended up just getting collected by the number 18 of Chris Sunderson as he came across the racing line, not realizing that there wasn't enough there was overlap there, and just chopped his nose off. The 24 goes into the wall, and the 18 collected some damage as well.
Less than an ideal situation, and as a result, Colin Sugg currently battling with Wade Georgeson down in the 16th and 17th positions, with Jeff Franks scrapping away ahead R.L. Brown and Vincent Morera. But the fight for the podium is still on, and Aaron Silva currently ahead of Christian Julian. Now, did that just happen? Either way, it's about to potentially change. There's been contact on the back a little bit through the final corner. We'll potentially have to get an update on that in a moment. But now down into the first chicane, Christian Julian launches an attack to the outside. Isn't able to make it stick, but no! Aaron Silva's not able to make the car stick to the tarmac. He's off for a picnic in the exit of the chicane. Christian Julian gifted the position for free.
Oh, man, a little bit of a collision at Parabolica between the 18 and the 997. That's the update I wanted to give. Just at Parabolica on the inside, the number 18 that incurred that damage just braked a little bit less than it potentially should have, and therefore ran into that 997, taking them both out of the race, I'm pretty sure.
Gutting. And welcome, Carson, as well. Congratulations on your first ever Syracuse esports stream. I hope some people went over and said hi. I did send the link in the chat earlier and told everyone to go over. So hopefully you got some fans to head over there and hit the follow button. I know I did. Hopefully you got some clips on your Twitter as well. I'll be taking a look at the stream afterwards. Oh, Vincent Morera running wide now He's leaning for a move onto RL Brown as RL is struggling in the mid-sector. And you can see ahead, he does have a slipstream from Ryan Eason, but he's going to be heading down to Ascari. We've seen this move before. This time, though, Vincent Morera is a little bit more intelligent on the positioning of the car. He chooses the outside line, which will turn to the in. Jeff Franks, though, in from behind. He is joining this conversation as well. That's a big unsettled BMW, and that should hand the position over to Jeff Franks without relative fighting. But now to the inside, it is going to be for the parabolic Jeff Franks' corner every day of the week. The BMW has to bide its time and wait. Next up, though, Jeff is going to be attacking the Aston Martin. RL Brown, he needs to pick up the pace as there's been a fire lit under his pants, except for the fact that Jeff Franks is struggling to keep it between the mayo and the mustard.
Jeff Franks struggling a little bit. It looks like that rear quarter panel of his has got some significant damage. It looks like he's got a little bit of scuffed up on that We Races 1 banner right there. He's been touched before and hopefully not touched again. Morera's doing a great job of keeping his distance. The AMG on the inside line going for it again. The 73 just yeeting it through the chicane and relinquishing that position and hopefully giving a position to the 84 without too much issue right now, or they'll definitely be carrying speed through the right-hander that's super long, and the 84 is going to battle it out right now. That 73 is Jeff Franks is not going to give it up too easily the first time around.
Oh goodness, cover your eyes, chat. Okay, we're good. Jeff Franks backs out. Smart decision, but that forces Vincent Morera into a mistake. That was Jeff's plan all along, obviously. Calculated as ever, Jeff is a mastermind in strategy. He forces the Brazilian into an error off of pure intimidation alone, but also missing the corner multiple times.
Mind games, folks. Mind games. That's what you do. Let that be known. Jeff Franks doesn't miss an apex 3 times in a row. No comment. Oh, Jeff, we love you, brother. I promise. It's just maybe tone it down a little bit in the next one. As I can say, these are all learning mistakes, right? As everybody goes for aggressive moves, and there's only one way to learn from a mistake, and that's by making it. And we've seen a couple mistakes tonight. Side by side is Jeff Franks, or excuse me, as Dr. Porkchop is off the back of a mistake now, and Aaron Silva capitalizing on that. Luke Nelson waiting in the wings as he looks to the inside of the first chicane. He's going to have to work for it, though. The Aston Martin of Dr. Porkchop does give the inside line, though, to Luke Nelson. That'll turn to the outside for the second part of the corner. You can see Dr. Porkchop, big squeeze there on the entrance. Great job, though, from both of the drivers, giving each other the respect in the room needed to make each other succeed through that corner. And now they continue the fight down to De La Roggia. Through they go. Curva Grande, the slipstream, still crucial at this stage of the racetrack. Dr. Porkchop thinks about covering the inside, but he doesn't. That's going to allow Luke Nelson onto the favorable overtaking line, but he is going to think twice about making the move this time. Oh, talk about mayo and the mustard. This is about to get really tight and squeezed, pouring out the inside of this sandwich. And it looks like Luke Nelson was able to get through on Dr. Porkchop, as Porkchop has an uncharacteristic mistake right now. And Luke Nelson gets that position secured, not where he wanted it at turn 1, but here through turn 5 and 6.
And a great point from Grumpy Geriatric Gamer. Not sure why folks don't properly sit in the slipstreams on the straight. That's always something to keep in mind for these drivers, is you want to tuck out of the slipstream at the latest possible time. You don't want to be going in, going out, going in, going out, because that's just going to slow you down. Not only are you getting more air pushing on your car, you're turning your wheel, which is going to add friction, which, if anyone has learned physics, they know that every action doesn't have an equal and opposite reaction. You also can't you keep your speed up all the way. I don't know the exact physics terms. This is why I'm a commentator. But either way, you can't be doing that. Weaving will slow you down.
707 having a self-inflicted error at Ascari 2, it looks like. Just went off and onto the green stuff, lit up his tires, got a tank slapper once, twice, spun it around, and the 707 is going to head towards the back of the grid.
Yeah, unfortunate race for them down at the bottom. But Dr. Porkchop in the slipstream, he's been waiting for this move, and he's finally found it. Is he going to tuck out late this time? No, he doesn't. And Rexy from downtown sends it into the slip road, rides over the curb. He takes the position. He definitely should hand that one back, should Seth Lincoln. And as they go through Curva Grande, we see Seth. He runs wide here. He's going to lift off the throttle, I presume, and give that right back to Dr. Porkchop. Dr. Porkchop doesn't get that communication, though. And thankfully, disaster is averted. But Seth Lincoln did the right thing there. Dr. Porkchop just was, I think, a little hyper-focused, and I don't think he thought that Seth was going to give that back.
I almost fell out of my chair and knocked my own green screen back. That was a clenching moment, as the BMW has a clenching moment of the 621 slipping it through. Where are we on track at the second chicane? Just slips it through and loses out a couple positions. This was Rally Dutchy giving it up.
Yeah. Not much to say on that one. Just a missed braking zone, to be completely honest. And Rally will clean that one up. That's just it's just a mistake, unfortunately, an unforced error that Rally has to contend with and make up from there. Not really much of an issue, but either way, now the pressure is getting piled on. If there was a mistake made once, immediately you sort of get into that mindset of, I need to recover, I need to recover. You gotta chill out. That's the thing. You need to realize where you are on the circuit and just kind of dial back in, get the focus, and say, you know what, just because I'm joining a different pack doesn't mean that this is my race. I'm quicker than these guys. I know that. I just have to drive quicker than them. When you have drivers battling like this, Jeff Franks and and RL Brown, this is very helpful because this is going to allow Rally Dutchy to gain some time.
Yeah, this is going to be a good battle. Jeff Franks will going the long way around the outside of Parabolica, slowing RL Brown down significantly. And Jeff Franks having a little bit of an excursion here at Parabolica, but this long run will give him enough send here towards turn one. Jeff Franks carrying a ton of momentum down the start-finish straight right now. The gap is still about half a second, but RL Brown's going to be under threat by the end of this first one. And it looks like Rally Dutchy's about a second ahead right now of RL Brown, but this is always helping out a guy like R. Eason, who's holding on to 10th place and sitting very well in that number 2 Jurassic Park car.
Yeah, and a great point from chat is Jeff Franks has just been, he's a war veteran at this point. He's got 2 Purple Hearts, he's got a Medal of Honor, a Distinguished Service Cross, pretty much any medal that at this point you could name. He's been in there for so long, into the trenches. Yeah, and he's still in it. He's not out just yet. He's going to continue the fight on for the foreseeable future. 2.5 minutes left, and this is a little bit of an opportunity. Both drivers, though, make a mistake. This is, I think if there's ever been a description of in the mud, this is a battle that is just elbows out. It's a mud fight. It's a wrestling match. They're all greased up, and nobody can really get a grip on each other. It's very entertaining, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Wow, I was going to say, and Jeff Franks, too, on top of all of those medals and ribbons that he has plastered to his chest, also received a less than honorable discharge for that mistake he made at the second chicane.
Yeah. That's good. Dang it. Could have thought of that one. Either way, that was really good. He certainly did. Rally Dutchy is not quite looking for such an exit. They're looking to gain some positions right now onto Ryan Eason. This will presumably be the last overtake Rally can make for the night, barring any mistakes from up ahead. Top 10, not completely out of the picture, but it's definitely a bit of a stretch right now with Pedro Antoni about 3.5 seconds up the road. It will take an error from Pedro, but it's still, anything can happen in racing, and it normally does.
Yeah, Luke Nelson and Aaron Silva obviously getting close to each other. Alex Hansen 1.3 seconds away from Christian Julian. We have a lot of battles still out on track. We have at least one more lap left to go, if I'm not mistaken. Just like the previous stint that we had, the 193 is leading by a commanding 5.4 seconds. Mario Jr. is walking away with it right now. And Seth Lincoln's getting into a battle with Dr. Porkchop as well.
He's trying to take a bite out of the pork chop is Rexy, and you can see he is salivating at the mouth right now for the position. Heading down to the Lesmos, it's going to be the outside line for right now, but he's trying to switch it back up for the in, get the better run here for the second Lesmo, take to the inside line and force the issue. There's a mistake from Dr. Porkchop, but that is going to be Seth Lincoln thinking twice about it. He sees the weakness right now, I think, in the 71, and he knows that he can get the overtake. But the problem is he's running out of time. This is going to be the penultimate lap, as Mario Jr. should be able to make it to the line in time to start another. So this battle will continue for another 2.5 miles.
Yeah, and this battle is not over yet. Seth Lincoln, biding his time, realizes that the polystyrene boards have been taken out at a couple corners, and he has an uncharacteristic mistake himself. Goes a little wide, touches the kitty litter, and slows his efforts down. He won't be able to get it on this time around.
Also, fun fact about foxes, I tell you what, let's take care of that in between the sessions. We got too much going on right now. I will get that, Adam. I promise you I didn't miss it. But we got Luke Nelson weaving every which way, trying to make a move, excuse me, Alex Hansen weaving every which way to make a move onto Christian Julian. It's going to be the outside line of choice, and that forces the BMW deep. Both cars miss the apex. Christian Julian should yield and should hand that back. However, there's nothing necessarily, I think, in the rules to oblige him to do so, but he is going to be a respectful driver. You know what? Round of applause there to Christian Julian, because not every driver would have made that choice. He's going to be the honorable fighter here tonight and continue like gladiators.
Oh, have you seen the new trailer for Gladiator 2 coming out?
Now is not the time, Saagar. Alex Hansen continue the fight, but Seth Lincoln still looking for dinner. Can he find it in pork chop, or will it unfortunately just have to be P8? It's still not a bad result, as Seth Lincoln has made up 2 positions. Alex Hansen, though, up 12 positions is still absolutely incredible. Definitely driver of the day in my books tonight for the slow Porsche, or should I say the not so slow Porsche.
Seth Lincoln still working this, though, on Dr. Porkchop, trying to get as close as he can towards the end of this race, staying within 3/10 gap right now as they approach the final chicane. And this is going to be his last chance and Dr. Porkchop's last chance to really defend. And Seth Lincoln makes a look on the inside line, and he's going to go for it for sure.
He is, but right now, we'll tune back to that battle a little bit later. We got to catch Mario Jr. in the final corners. I think he has backed out, did Seth Lincoln. Mario Jr., though, it's been domination for him. It's not a grand slam. Jaeger Karu actually with the fastest lap, but Mario Jr., your race winner for 1 and 2 tonight, and looking to continue the lead on the championship.
P7, P8, Dr. Porkchop, and Seth Lincoln going around Parabolica right now, doing a great job of negotiating it. Seth Lincoln on the outside line. Can he get a switchback engaged? I don't think so. This will be his final effort getting to the line, and no, looks like Porkchop secures it over Seth Lincoln in the final round.
Great effort to be had there for Seth at the dying embers of the race, but he unfortunately was not quick enough to get the job done. Jaeger Karu takes home P2. Wait, it says 7. Either way, P2. Jaeger Karu in second, Alex Hansen in third, Christian Julian in fourth. Ignore whatever the heck ACC is telling you, just take my word for it. Aaron Silva coming home in 5th position with Luke Nelson in 6th. Behind him, Dr. Porkchop in 7th with Seth Lincoln in 8th. Pedro Antoni coming home in 9th with Ryan Eason rounding out your top 10.
Now do we get to talk about Gladiator 2 coming out?
I mean, to be fair, I actually haven't seen the trailer yet, but yes, we will do. We'll have some post-race interviews relatively shortly. But honestly, I have not seen the trailer, so I will definitely. That's one that I have. Will have to take a look at after this broadcast, I would say. But as
I am Marcus Aurelius, and I fight for the people.
Did you guys hear about the new Katy Perry? I have not listened to the new Katy Perry album. I'll have to listen to that one at the gym tomorrow. Didn't see Gladiator 1. Adam Strange.
Oh my god.
He's a little young, to be fair. I mean, it is a pretty hardcore movie. If you're not into, like, you know, the hardcore history stuff, I get it. But Gladiator 1, look, Saagar, you're going to hate me, but it's an alright movie, okay? It's just not historically accurate. I don't mean to be that guy. But I'm that guy.
Mike Nause, it's a movie.
Yeah, but it's not historically accurate.
Are you going to say that Spartacus wasn't a great show because it wasn't historically accurate as well?
Yes, actually, because it was extremely historically inaccurate. That show was abysmal. But anyways.
Oh no. Oh no. Adam Strange, Mike Nause, please rewatch Gladiator 1. That was an absolute phenomenal movie. Russell Crowe did an amazing job. Well, this is more directly directed at Adam Strange. He needs to watch Gladiator 1. That was a great movie. Despite what Mike Nause says, we don't take him up on anything that he has to say anymore. That's it. That's my final straw.
Fair enough. Fun fact about foxes. Oh, yes, interviews. Yes. Interviews. Do we have anybody in the wings waiting for an interview?
Whole bunch. Alex Hansen, Kristen Julian, Major, Mario Jr., and Tony.
Yeah, we're looking for Mario Jr., Jaeger Cario, and Alex Hansen. Those are the 3 that we are looking for. So apologies to Christian Julian, who is in 4th. We only are doing the 3. We only got time for 3 here tonight, as I have honestly stalled a little bit too much already. Let's start off with 3rd position. Why don't you take these interviews here, Saagar, while I get everything prepared behind the scenes? Why don't we start off with Alex Hansen, our P3 finisher. Which one is Alex Hansen? That one's Alex Hansen, the one that's named Alex Hansen, of course. There he is.
Hello, Alex Hansen. How are you doing? Can you hear us?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, how did your race go? Amazing recovery drive from all the way in the back, starting in P20 for race 1, and then working your way towards the top step. Well, not the top step, but back up to the podium by race 2. How did you manage to do it?
Yeah, thank you. Red Bull kicks in. I'm shaking right now. Yeah, the race was good. Just good lap times. That's it. Just stay 157, 158. You get it.
Yeah. And your consistency was pretty good as well. Like you said, your lap times are very good for race 1. How did you feel about race 2 not quite being where you thought you should have been, working your way forward, still doing a great job?
I was like, all right, what can I do? Just let's race. I'm here for fun, not for something else.
What a great attitude to have.
What a great race, everybody.
What was your secret to getting that consistency? How did you achieve those lap times?
I like Monza, and I just did maybe 2 hours of practice. That's it. No, just be careful. Just be careful and no hurry. Just bit by bit.
Bit by bit, piece by bit. We're going to go ahead and grab one of the next drivers up in the standings here. Did you have anybody that you wanted to thank or anything in your race that we may have missed?
Let me say thank you to all the drivers. You're the best. To my favorite commentators, you guys, you're also the best. And all the viewers, thank you guys.
Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Good luck to you in next week's races, Mr. Hansen.
Thank you.
Take care.
Up next, we will be... Oh no, I didn't take a picture of the standings. Saagar, I'm an amateur.
I believe it's Pedro Artoni that we're grabbing next.
Yes, okay, and I'm assuming... or no, Pedro ended up winning. So Mario Jr. is the one that is in streamer mode. Okay, sounds good. So Pedro Artoni up next.
Pedro, hello, can you hear us?
Hello. I'm here another time to be the translator for Mario. If you can get him to the year 2, I will translate from English to Portuguese.
I'll try to drag him up. Let me see. I've got him halfway with us.
Where'd he go?
Here, I've grabbed Mario now. Go ahead, Mario. How are you doing? Congratulations on your race.
Hi. I need a translator. Aaron Silva.
Eu tô aqui, mano.
Tá aí. Valeu.
Mário, ele perguntou como que foi a corrida e te parabenizou.
Obrigado. Nós da equipe treinamos bastante, o Aaron também, o Ortiz também, nós treinamos bastante para baixar esse tempo. conseguimos e consegui manter um pace bom também na corrida. E não consegui, não rodamos, não saímos, não batemos. Isso que importa. E é isso. Foi bom, foi tenso. Primeira vitória no campeonato, mas foi bom.
Thanks. I want to thank everybody for the race. And me, Aron, Ortiz, Pedro, we all train a lot to get some pace in this track. And I love to race here, and it's a very good race. We could get the pace constancy, and I think this is the key from success.
Right on. And what was the key to success to getting these lap times? Did you guys practice together again?
O Mário, ele perguntou qual que foi a chave para vocês conseguirem, para a gente conseguir esse tempo, né? Se a gente treinou bastante junto.
Eu tentei achar o meu estilo de pilotagem e alguns momentos da pista eu tirava o TC 0, aí eu voltava para o TC1, alguns lugares de curva de baixa, né, para não rodar, e tentando cortar caminho da forma mais limpa possível.
We train a lot together. I tried to find my driver style so I can make the best pace that I could, and I changed the CT between the sectors of the race to get the best fit possible, and I tried to cut the track only the most safe possible, the most clean possible.
And it was a very clean race. Congratulations to you, and great drive for you and your team as well. Is there anything that we may have missed from your race, or anybody that you want to thank before we let you guys go?
Ele falou parabéns pela corrida e pela corrida do seu time. Perguntou se você quer mandar um abraço, parabéns aí para alguém.
Assim, agradecer todo o nosso time aí, da galera da Limit Road, né? E aos organizadores também, né? E que vão acostumando aí com o português no servidor, no campeonato, porque daqui para frente vai ser só brasileiro aí nos pódios.
I want to thank my team and the organization of the championship. And he said you have to get yourself into the Portuguese, because you will be only Brazil in the podium.
No promises.
Congratulations to the Brazilians. Yeah, great drive from you. Thank you very much for sharing everything. We've got qualifying underway right now for the pro category, so we've got to let you guys go. But thank you very much for being a translator as always, Pedro, and congratulations to Mario.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Bye.
Thank you. I'm sorry for my English, but I'm very happy to.
No,
bye.
No. Obrigado.
No,
English is
perfect.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Obrigado.
Thank you, guys. Brilliant. There we go. Interviews done and dusted. Up next, as Saagar had alluded to, qualifying, and that is underway as we speak. Why don't we head on down and take a look?
And obviously, we're going to do a split qualifying for these open series. We've got the white plates going out first, and we've got the red plates going out second. So we're going to split this qualifying, just split down the middle. We got 10 and 10 going for us right now. Drivers are just getting their installation laps going. We won't see the best lap times, as the GT4s do not have tire warmers, so no hot tires coming out of the pit lanes right now. The drivers will be on, obviously, very cold rubbers. We got 23 degrees sunny temperatures right now, being the ambient. Track is going to be 24 degrees Celsius. So not exactly chilly conditions, but not the perfect conditions for the tires to get warmed up on just one installation lap. So we'll see one installation lap, possibly two installation laps, before we see any times down into the 157s or 156s even.
Yep, exactly. And also now we can tackle the fun facts about foxes. And this is an interesting one. Foxes can use the Earth's magnetic field. Foxes are able to use it to help them hunt. They have a remarkable capability to catch prey. Sure. Suggest something more. Apparently, honestly, I can't tell you why they do, but apparently they do. So there you go. Foxes can use the Earth's magnetic field. That's pretty interesting.
That is pretty interesting. I'm curious to know how or why they use the magnetic field.
Hunting, apparently. Or a sense of direction or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a foxologist.
Like a fox always points north, just like moss or something like that?
Fox's burrow is always pointing in the southwesterly direction. You never know. I mean, could be true. I just made that up.
Oh, did you just make that up?
Yeah, I just made that up. I don't know if that's true or not. It might be. I don't know. But...
you had me so convinced. I was like, wow, what an interesting fact, Mike Nause. Had that right in front of us ready to go. Absolutely false information.
Mike, do you like Selena Gomez? I'm not a fan. There's a couple songs that are bops. There's a couple songs that are not bops. Not frequented in my playlist, I would say. But it shows up in time to time in random different playlists I listen to. I can't think of the song that I'm thinking of that Selena Gomez did like a couple years back. That was pretty good.
Good For You with A$AP Rocky.
I honestly don't know any of her song names as much as it embarrasses me to say. I would know it if I heard it, but...
One that goes 14 karat something, 14 karat.
I'm going to need more than that. Ryan Conlon asking if I like Miley Cyrus. I've already answered this one on stream once before, and I hate to break it to you. Nah, not my cup of tea. I did watch Hannah Montana as a child. I will not deny that fact. But I cannot say that I frequent her music in the past few years.
23, banger. 23 was a banger. I would say Miley Cyrus doing it big. I was not a Hannah Montana generation person, though, so unfortunately not.
Yeah, I mean,
but Selena Gomez, her songs do smash every now and then.
Mike hates Miley ever since Miley and Beyonce have collaborated. Look, you can call me jealous, okay, but it is what it is.
Oh, you know what's crazy is BTS came up in a normal conversation today. I was so surprised.
K-pop band.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Came up where Adam Strange was not involved, I'm pretty sure, unless this guy that I've been talking to somehow has to be, this counselor even happens to be Adam Strange, but I think Adam Strange is a little too young to be a counselor on anything other than good music. Two Most Wanted was a bop, though. Googling it.
Like I say, I just don't know. GTA soundtracks have forced me to admit that I like all sorts of pop I wouldn't otherwise. You know, it's a good thing to have an open mind, Phil Frank. I always have an open mind with music. I'll listen to literally anything at least once.
Wait, is this Beyonce's country music album with Miley Cyrus? Not a fan. That was off the playlist pretty quick.
Cowboy Carter?
Yeah, I think so.
You telling me you don't like the Cowboy Carter album?
Mike, you may kick me off the commentary team right here, right now, but no.
Honestly, there's not too many good songs on there. I don't blame you. There's a couple, though. There's a couple pretty good songs.
Adam Strange was a camp counselor. Maybe he could have been my counselor.
There you go.
I don't know. Adam Strange, did you have a conversation about BTS today? A normal conversation?
I probably didn't like it then. I mean, again, I don't remember any of the song names off that album either. Besides the American song, the first song on the album, I don't know by name. Again, it might just be called America. I can't remember, but that song, that is a song.
Are you talking about American Requiem?
Yes, that is in fact the song that I'm talking about.
Yeah, that song I skipped very quickly.
That is
no offense.
The pride of America as far as I'm concerned in 2024.
Oh, gosh.
If I had known what that song was around the 4th of July, I would have blasted it.
I cannot. Hopefully, not Mike. Adam Strange will update the playlist. Oh, he did. He added Kiss from Rose and Better Off Alone.
But did you add a Rose, though?
He did add The Rose by Amanda McBroom.
My goodness. I can't even remember the name of the song I'm suggesting. It's a good song, though. It's a good song.
Adam Strange is just absolutely on it for this playlist.
Why is Aaron John out on track right now? Because somebody didn't watch the driver's briefing, I presume. If they're a red plate and they're out on track, they didn't follow the driver's briefing. But I don't see him. Where is he?
He is out on track. Aaron John.
Yeah, he should
in the number 24 and 25th place right now.
Is he white plate? Move your head, Saagar. Yeah, he's a red plate. Yeah, he shouldn't be out there.
Move your head, Saagar.
Good catch, Squashmonger. He might receive a quali ban, as that is against the rules to be out there before the 10-minute session.
Who was Squashmonger again? They asked for their livery to be showcased. It's not Wage Georgeson in the 707. We already went over this.
It's clearly one of the rookies, I think.
No, he said he was in the open category.
It's Whirly, okay. But I think it's one of the rookies in the cat because they're chatting in chat, so I think they're a red plate. Oh, Whirly's a white plate.
That's right.
I'm wrong. I'm just wrong. Yeah, I'm just wrong. Ignore me. Ollie Ross is on pole position. I'm not wrong about that, and it looks like it's going to stay that way. And looking at the rest of the field, it'll be tough for anyone to catch, just to be honest. Ollie Ross is going to have a pretty big advantage heading into this. Holy smokes! Official Karu is gifted 5 subs. Gifted 25 in total. Heck yes. Thank you so much for your continued support, Karu.
Way to go, Karu. Thank you very much for all the gifted subs. And one of them actually ended up going to Sir Fosh, of all people.
Hey, Sir Fosh, enjoy your emotes. I hope you enjoy the Mike Pog emote. It's a classic. It's brand new. I haven't seen enough of that yet. We need some Mike Pog. I mean, to be fair, there haven't been any real Mike Pog moments in the stream as of yet. But Saagar, we need to get you an emote sooner rather than later.
What would it be? Me stroking my beard?
I have some ideas actually. And holy smokes! Official Karu was gifted one to Undercover Raccoon as well. Let's go.
Undercover Raccoon definitely deserved one. Congratulations, Undercover Raccoon, on your new gifted sub. Hopefully the streak will continue for you. I think he's been gifted for 1 month. That's probably almost a year, huh, Mike?
Almost, some may say. And Adam Strange with another bitteroo. Mike, should I start rumors that Lewis Hamilton is dating Kelly Clarkson? I mean, personally, I don't see anything wrong with it, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. There was also a question in chat earlier about who is better, Adele or Kelly Clarkson, and I'm just going to have to go out and I'm just going to have to say Kelly Clarkson 10 out of 10 times. I'm not saying I don't like Adele, chat. Before you light me up, I'm not saying I don't like Adele. That was a middle school classic. I listened to quite a bit of Adele, but I don't anymore. But Kelly Clarkson's Christmas songs, I don't like Christmas songs, but she's all right.
You should start a rumor that Lewis Hamilton is dating Adele.
Wasn't that already a rumor? Or who was Lewis Hamilton dating? Or who was the alleged... There was a... who was Adam Strange? Will absolutely know who the heck I'm talking about right now. Who am I... Was it Adele? Who am I thinking of? Adam Strange. That she... Yeah, you started that? I don't think you started that, but I think that was an actual rumor for a while.
Oh, that's absolutely classic. Ollie Raza in the lead, Jace Wright in second place, Zane Bliskett, Justin Beachley, George Elmer. That's your top 5 right now. Mason Perchowski, John Hawley, Alex Freeman, Potts Weaver, and Luis Vasquez. Those are your top 10.
Drivers briefing people. Huh? Oh, we got John in the wrong quali. Oh no, hold on. Chat disappeared. So we got John in wrong quali, and now we got Devin Anthony in wrong quali. Devin Anthony, come on, you have no excuse, brother.
There's no way he's been on a valid lap this entire time is what just went through my head. It's 4 minutes into the qualifying session on a 2-minute lap. So, yeah, no way for Devin Anthony to still be out there.
Yeah, Devin should know better. He's been around the block in this league before.
Has he? Has he been in this one before?
I think he's been in this league. He's definitely been in TRACKILICIOUS League, so at the very least, he knows that he should be listening to the driver's briefing.
True that.
That statement I'll stand by.
I think he might be a West Coast Wednesday kind of a guy. Thank you for the follow, AP Dynamics. Welcome to the grid.
AP Dynamics. Now that sounds like a college degree that doesn't have much use for some reason. I don't know why. Is that like I don't know. Anyways, moving on. I don't know where that's going. I don't think that's going anywhere. We're just gonna drop that one. But I think Lewis
Evan Anthony
allegedly dated Nicki Minaj. Is that who it was? Or was it Shakira? Wasn't it Shakira?
No, it was Nicki Minaj. Oh, AP Dynamics, what a burn. Thanks, dude.
It wasn't a burn. Like, I wasn't meaning it in an offensive way. I thought I had something clever cooking, and I just didn't. It just, you know, you think it sounded better in the head, and then I started saying it, and I was like, nah, we're abandoning that one. I didn't even go to college. Neither did I. Neither did I.
Neither did I.
Let's go. Lack of education, brothers. That's why we're in the commentary booth not getting paid much.
Wait, you get paid?
No, not really.
Adam Strange, imagine if you weren't in college, you could be in the commentary booth with us. How's that for an idea?
You just drop out of college and become a commentator, Adam. I would highly recommend that. Not at all.
It's fun, entertaining for hard, laborious work for no pay. But it is fun, though. I will say, honestly, yeah, last paycheck was a tie patch.
The funny thing is you're right. Like, I wish it wasn't true, but it is. Brother's in college, so you sign him up. You shouldn't be signing other people up for college.
No, sign him up for commentary, Mike.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Sign him up for commentary. Yeah, I agree. Do that.
We need a third.
Him. Desperately. Carson's gone now. He's doing Syracuse stuff, so he's useless to us now.
R.I.P. Carson.
Chat, can you tell I'm tired yet? Can you tell that I've commentated for like, what, 8 hours and only ate like 500? No, I've ate like 900 calories today. Like, we're doing great. We're doing excellent.
Because the real important question is what's for dinner, Mike Nause?
You know, that I wish I knew. I don't have a plan for dinner. I'll just be the first one to admit it. When I finish the stream, it'll be like 8 o'clock, so probably not much.
Hot dog time. Hot dog time.
I don't even think I have that. I have no idea. Probably like some microwave baked chicken and that I have in the your freezer. Like some Stouffer's. That's it. Mike is on the model diet. I'm not on the model diet, but I am like dieting. I mean, I'm just trying to lose a bit of weight. We're trying to get down to that, you know, healthy 15% body fat. That's the goal at the end of the day.
There's a 5 and there's a 1 in my body fat, Mike, but I think mine's the other way around right now.
Ramen? Honestly, that isn't a bad shout. Ramen with an egg might be literally what I make for dinner, actually, now that you mention it. That doesn't sound too bad.
Now, do you do ramen or do you do cup of noodles?
I don't know the brand. It's the Indonesian ramen brand that has the 3 little packets the 3 sauce packets with the 2 little crunchy, the dry packets. It's ramen. I don't know.
Well, there's like the original Maruchis.
No. It's the Indonesian brand. Like I say, I don't know what it is offhand, but it literally says Indonesian noodle. Like it's the... Yeah, never had microwave ramen before? You're not... I'll keep it that way, Adam.
Yeah,
you don't
you're not
you don't
missing
need
much.
to. No, you don't feel left out. Like legit, I don't microwave ramen. I've had like once or twice, but I at least boil it on the stove. I'm not a complete degenerate.
Now, do you cook your noodles al dente?
I mean, ideally, that's the goal.
Ideally, yes. Squirrely Whirly in 15th place for Tranky's Designs, TTV. Thank you very much for being here.
Wendy's for dinner? Nah,
Nah,
I don't need those calories, man.
Wendy's is too far for me.
Boil
They should build a
water
Taco
in
Bell
kettle,
right next to
easy
my
ramen.
house.
Whoa, big drift for Philip Lee. Hey, Saagar, to be fair, you live in the middle of absolutely nowhere. You can't complain.
Yes.
Like, I think this is more of a you problem than it is an anyone else problem, because I have every fast food restaurant near me, which is the problem with America at this point.
Oh no, Patrick DeBow. By the way, the cup was, it says not to microwave them on the package. Learned that at 37. No.
Bro's like, I enjoy my styrofoam toxins. It adds to the flavor of the noodles when the styrofoam melts a little bit into my soup. You've always been like,
Yeah,
man, is it just normal that the container comes out slightly deformed and it's different every time?
No, it's not. You gotta boil the water in a kettle, like someone said. Boil water in a kettle, said Jay Hall, and then just pour it into the bowl, and then just stick a fork in the top so that the lid stays shut, and you're good to go. Yeah, they're wax cardboard. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's styrofoam. I have a couple noodles. I'll go tear one up right now, Patrick.
It depends. It depends on the brand. That's the thing.
It does depend on the brand. You're right. It does depend on the brand.
I'm with Adam
Actually,
Strange here. I'm the guy that follows cooking instructions like they're a freaking science procedure. Like, if you tell me to use, like, 2/3 of a teaspoon of soy sauce, I'm using 2/3 of a teaspoon of soy sauce. I'm not going by feeling. I am using what the recipe tells me to use, down to a T.
Mike Nause cooking up his dinner like he's making C4 just to make sure nothing explodes on him.
The FAA, no, or FDA, everyone,
The FTC will have us.
FTC, yeah, there we go. We're not doing that, what he just said. Just clear the air very quickly on that one.
All the alphabet boys coming after us.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. There's rain.
Boy, rain.
There's rain. Oh my goodness. I still have 45 minutes left of not eating. Man, I'm hungry. All that food talk just absolutely was a terrible idea. I'll just be completely honest. And I'm out of caffeine to suppress my appetite. So we are just going to have to just deal with this. Let's, Saagar, you want to do the second? Do you want to switch off after 10?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely. Alrighty. Starting us off at the top of the grid, it's the Razzle Dazzle himself, the Ollie Rozzler, number 30, lining up at the top. Next to him, Jace Wright with a very solid qualifying. The Optimum Motorsports putting in a very optimum lap time. Can that transition over into the wet? We will soon find out. Zane Bliskett third quickest, with Justin Beachley coming home in fourth in the Beach GT with his girlfriend's cap plastered on his livery. George Elmer running home in fifth position for the number 22 in the Thundercats, with Mason Perchalski alongside in P6. The Carson Crash Racing. I have a feeling that Mason didn't upload his livery properly. Unfortunate. I want to see that one. John Hawley coming home in ninth position with the Sabratonis Chili and Lime Racing for the 410. Alex Freeman in eighth with Alex Hansen. It's the Battle of the Alexes for P8 and 9. And Potts Weaver rounding out your top 10.
Luis Vasquez in P11 for the 777 in the Bill Steen liveried car. And then we got Shane Domlin in P12. And then we've got Mr. Rue in P13 for the 205 because he survived rookies liveries. And then we've got Arlen Santos in the number 75 in 14th place. Casey Swensinger in 15th place in the number 84 for the Noobs Are Us mobile. And we got Joshua Worley, aka Squirrely Whirly, in the number 47 with a livery that doesn't seem to be uploaded either, unfortunately. And then we've got Adriana Moro in 17th place in the number 37. Brian Clementi is holding down P18 in the number 100, baby. And then we've got in 19th place, yo boy, Dr. Porkchop. Professor Chronotis is rocking P20 in the number 42 with a professional banner. And then we've got Pedro Artoni in the 997 in 21st place. Devin Anthony is in 22nd place with the 664, and he is rocking a stylish red, white, and blue livery. Jeff Franks, we've seen him battle before. He'll battle it out again in 23rd place, the number 73. Philip Lee, the number 79, representing, I believe that'll be... Ireland, excuse me, in the number 24, in 24th place. Rally Dutchy in the 621 in 25th place, rocking some carbone on that 621. Wade Georgeson in the 707 for Australia in the 6-star racing car. Jaeger Caro in the number 20, in the 920 in 27th position. And then we've got Aaron John holding down the rear in the number 24 in 28th position, representing my country, India.
Yes, indeed. And unfortunately, with that qualifying session being disqualified from, he will be starting from the back, and somehow Devin Anthony was not. Nobody got the disqualification off in time, so Devin gets a little bit of an advantage, and he gains a couple positions as a result. We'll see if the penalty will get added over to next week, or if Devin is just going to yield, as he seems to be doing right now, and potentially starting from the back by himself. Nice to see Mason out there. I agree. Nice to see Mason in the Carson Crash livery. Again, I really wish we had this livery, because I bet this is I wish we had this livery. This is a shame that we don't. Mason, you got to make sure we get this one uploaded properly next week.
That one and the 47, I think that's going to be Squirrely Whirly. I wish we had that livery as well.
Yeah, they wanted to show off their livery, no?
Yes, they did want to show off their livery, the Bass Pro Shops livery, apparently. And I'm curious to see what that one looked like.
It's awfully boring right now, unfortunately.
Awfully normal looking, for sure.
Disappointing as such. Rockefeller Racing Low Budget GT4 sponsored by nobody. I love it. Unfortunate, but hey. How has the Rockefeller squad been doing? Haven't seen Rocky around in a while. But Ollie Raza, topping the time charts as usual. In these wet conditions, we've seen Jace Wright is quite the monster, to be completely honest. So if there's ever a chance for Ollie Raza to potentially lose a race, this is the one. However, I'm just going to call it early, and I'm just going to say Ollie Raza is going to walk away with this one. As much as I don't want to say it, I just statistically speaking here, I think it's going to come true.
I don't know about that. Jace Wright has been true to form in a lot of other series. Hopefully that carries over to GT4 racing as well. Jace Wright, Zane Blisket, Justin Beachley, and George Elmore. There's your top five. Of course, Ollie Raza holding down the front in P1 right before we get doubled up right now. And I love that cat car. Who's in that one? Is that Elmer?
It's Beachley. That's his, again, these are not his cats plastered all over the livery. These are pictures of his girlfriend's cat. Or cats, I'm not sure. But either way, I have not gotten an update on what their names are, despite the fact that I requested them a while ago.
I think it's the same cat.
You know, I'm not sure if it's multiple or if it's one. I think there's another one on a different side. We're just not quite getting the best view of it, but it might just be one cat. Either way, I'd like to know the name if Justin Beachley, when you do watch this VOD back, let me know. I wanted to know for a while.
He's not going to do it until you say meow.
You might be waiting a while for that one.
That'll be your word that you have to work into your commentary, Mike Nause, is a way to say meow.
Maybe. We'll see. Either way, the drivers are ready to go here. 45 minutes on the clock. All 5 red lights are on. Ollie Raza on pole. Jace Wright in second. We are green, green, green. Heading down to the first chicane in these wet conditions. Ollie Raza getting contested down to the first corner. Jace Wright's going to try to make a move onto the outside and steam into the lead early. He has to contest so late onto the brakes to do so. He backs out early. Everybody else you can see there lifting off the throttle, allowing that concertina effect to work its way through the field. And everybody now is going to be fairly calm. Everyone making it through the chicane, continuing to make, okay, Jeff Wright, or Jace, unfortunately, Jeff Franks, as well as I think Pedro and Tony getting involved there, but almost everybody making it through the first chicane. It's been a successful Monza so far. Are we going to continue that into Della Raggia as Jace Wright postures to make a move, but he does decide to back out once more as everybody else comes into the second chicane. This is where the gloves start to come off, but again, respect from everyone. You love to see it.
Of course, our combat veteran, Jeff Franks, got spun around. I think that wasn't his doing, but potentially a car behind him causing that incident. But Alex Hansen as well. I think he lost a couple positions off the start, but gained one right back up as Joshua Squirrely Whirly getting side by side with Mr. Rue now. And he's doing a good job of holding on these wet, tricky conditions, really giving these drivers a run for their money right now, especially with that dry qualifying session that we just watched.
Jace Wright going for the lead of this race on lap 1 onto the outside of Ascari. That forces Ollie Raza onto the racing line. Actually, that was the quickest line through that corner, so he's just going to get a great launch on this exit. Either way, Jace Wright, he has a lot of work to do if he wants to gain the lead here, but he's going to continue. I love the effort. He's really doing a good job of trying, and he's not over-committing, which is what you definitely do not want to see, because that could end in tears for both drivers.
Yeah, he's definitely keeping Ollie Raza honest right now. A 2/10 gap right now. He's stuck right underneath the rear wing of Ollie Raza, coming around Parabolica, doing a good job of staying in the slipstream like was commented on earlier. And hopefully he doesn't pull out too early. That number 30 is just waiting in the wings right now, about to get past at any moment. Jace Wright will pull out to the side, and here we go. The lunge towards T1 we go. Ollie Raza trying to push Jace Wright to the inside line as much as possible. Jace Wright crosses back over, goes for the move. Side by side we go through turn 1, and Jace Wright has the lead of this race for just a moment now. And we're going to go through the fast right-hander, and Jace Wright might lose that position very sternly so. Zane Blisket lurking in the background, trying to catch back up to everybody. Ollie Raza has the position secured, or does he, excuse me, as Jace Wright goes right back after it on the inside line. Does not want to give up this track position. Like I said, wants to keep Ollie Raza honest on the inside. Ollie Raza goes through, holds onto the racing line pretty neatly, has a little bit of an undulation there. This allows Jace Wright to get back on the inside line for the next turn. Ollie Raza trying to push him as far as possible. Ollie Raza goes a little bit deep and wide. Jace Wright's able to go through very well, doing a good job. And Zane Blisket lurking and lingering in the background, wants to get a look at this champion himself of Ollie Raza.
Man, what a battle. The 7-time champion of Ollie Raza gets dispatched like it's almost nothing. I mean, to be fair, Jace Wright had to work pretty hard for that overtake. But regardless, Jace is the wet weather specialist time and time again. And he's going to show it tonight. He's in the lead of this race, ahead of Ollie Raza. Not off of a mistake from Ollie, but off of pure merit and pace alone from Jace. Zane Blisket also incredible pace here with Justin Beachley pushing him along in these conditions. So far, this is such an impressive showing from Zane Blisket and Jace Wright, in my opinion. These two absolutely smashing it.
Absolutely doing very well in these loose and slippery conditions. But now Ollie Raza is going to get his best run possible to try to snap back at Jace Wright. He's 3/10 back right now, but is that Zane Blisket lurking in the background? He is just waiting in the wings, but hopefully not going to get involved in this accident waiting to happen here at turn 1. But they're going to avoid it neatly. So Ollie Raza is a professional. He knows where to brake. He knows where to let off the throttle. He's doing a great job of negotiating turn 1 right now. He's gaining all the momentum that he possibly can right now, but he doesn't get a great exit to catch back up to Jace Wright here at turn 3.
Oh my goodness, as we jump on board with Luis Vasquez, Joshua Worley, and Brian Clementi. These three having a scrap and a half, as a term that I haven't said in a while, but kind of a knife fight in a phone booth right now. And Mr. Rue, well, with the livery to suit.
Yeah, Mr. Rue, the BMW is chasing each other down, doing a great job of negotiating turn one neatly. And like I keep saying, these tricky, wet conditions cannot be fun. Oh, there's a lunge in the background that we're watching. Who is that? Is that Brian Clementi and Casey Swansinger, excuse me, going after it? They sure were.
Yes, Casey Swansinger is in fact in a fight right now. Aaron John also trying to make moves from the back of the grid, gaining a position over George Elmer. Potts Weaver ahead of them in the Lincoln Logs car, trying to build a little bit more of a result that he would like, but you can see he's going to need his mechanics to end up, well, destroying the car a little bit when it comes into pit lane, as he has done already. They're going to get the sledgehammers out with the rubber mallets, and maybe even some elbows. That front end is not ideal, and Aaron John is round. Was that assisted? It definitely looked like it was, but the results are the same. Aaron John, unfortunately, is going to be down in second to last, and now the 73 of Jeff Franks, he will be closing up relatively shortly.
Yeah, that was push, not shoved. It looks like the 22 and the 24 involved in that incident, unfortunately. We're back up at the front. Justin Beachley, Zane Blisket, and Ali Raza all separated by just a couple tenths right now, chasing each other down, holding down good pace. We've got a 202 out of Jace Wright right now, 203.2 for Ali Raza, about a second faster as Jace Wright. Zane Blisket with a 203.1 and 202.8 for Justin Beachley, doing a great job of catching back up to this train, and Ali Raza being a cork in the bottle for these drivers behind.
That is a saying that I don't think I've ever heard before. Ali Raza is currently the cork in the bottle. That is, again, down to these conditions. The wet weather is the great equalizer, and you can see it here. Ali Raza is struggling, and Zane Blisket maybe trying to take advantage of the situation, but all this scrapping's allowed Mason Perchalski into the conversation. Ali Raza, that is a good line. Despite the fact that it looks aggressive, it is still the line to be taking there. He just sort of missed the apex slightly, but that is going to be relatively quick. And a good question in chat, who is better, Billie Eilish or Billy Joel? Billie Eilish has a long ways to go before they top Billy Joel, like probably about 25 years of being successful before Billie Eilish becomes more relevant than Billy Joel.
Let's go on board with Beachley to see what that rooster tail looks like behind Zane Blisket, if you don't mind. I'd love to see what he's enduring right now as he's trying to make a move on the inside. Doesn't really go for it, trying to force an error out of the Aston Martin in front, and he does miss an apex right there. And hopefully Justin Beachley will get a nice run towards the end now. Justin Beachley doing a really good job of negotiating these corners really well, but will he go for another move, or will he just pretend like he will? Defensive line from Zane Blisket, side-by-side action right now as we get to Parabolica. Doing a good job on the optimum line is Beachley in that AMG. Aston Martin on the inside line. This is going to allow Beachley to get a good run now as he's able to go a little bit wider and carry more momentum through that final corner. But is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Beachley's acting like he's got it. He's tucked underneath the rear wing. He's got a lot of slipstream to work with, but 3 tenths back, 2 tenths back right now. That might just not be enough for the car to catch back up, Mike.
You say that, but the AMG has legs. It's not enough, though, as apparently the acceleration of a fox is higher than the acceleration of a cat, it turns out. We've just found that out as we've gone down into the braking zone, but the question is, who will be quicker in the long term? There's still 36 minutes and 15 seconds left in this race and one mandatory stop. This is anyone's game, and we'll take a look at the conditions real quick and see exactly what is predicted. Potentially dry by the end of this session. And taking a look at the tires, I haven't done that just yet. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, is on wets. Also, Dubby is in, I didn't know that Dubby Energy was in America. Okay, fair enough. Things that you learn for 100, Jeff, I guess. I don't know.
Well, what is Dubby Energy? Is that a drink company?
It's basically the equivalent of what we drink before the streams with our Gorilla Mines, so...
okay.
It's just a powdered tub of... But my colleague, Paul Jeffrey, I think, is sponsored by them, so that's just interesting. I thought they were a UK company. Anyways, that's not relevant to the battle at hand right now. It's just a fact. Is Justin Beachley looking to make moves into a Scary, but he isn't going to be swift enough onto the brakes. He has to just settle for the racing line and try again another day.
trying again in the same place at Ascari, not being able to get it through right there. But Beachley's been working this for a couple of laps now. He knows that he's got an exercise of patience right now. There is a mandatory pit stop that all the drivers are going to have to serve, so he may have a little bit of an opportunity going forward, especially with the drying conditions staying up. I think the drivers will want to stay on the wet tires for as long as possible as the race goes on, because of the way that the track will eventually dry up, yes, but no, it won't be dry enough for dry tires by the end of this race.
Certainly. Also, I have just pulled up a really interesting fun fact, and even I'm thinking that one's an okay, we'll get to that in a moment, though, as this battle is still underway, and we will be checking on various other battles throughout as well. Alex Hansen is trying to make moves onto Shane Dumoulin for P8 right now. This is a tight little scrap at the time, and that Ford, I haven't done that yet. I haven't made the mistake of calling the Camaro the Ford until now. I've officially done it, though. I've normally called the Ford the Camaro. I haven't done that in a while either, but here we are again. Is apparently the fatigue continues to wear in. The fatigue also maybe wearing in for Joshua Worley right now as he gets overtaken by Brian Clementi.
Brian Clementi navigating that very well. That McLaren seems to get a little drifty there on the end. I thought it was going to be the Camaro that does it, but no. The McLaren's the one that drifts out a little wide, but Brian Clementi doing a good job of keeping those tires underneath him right now. As he is on the wets, the number 100 doing a good job of keeping it squirrely, and Worley is trying to do his best to catch back up.
All right, chat, here we go. This is the fun fact. Now, this is a deep one. Even I'm going to be saying this is a deep one, but we're doing it, because I guarantee Adam Strange does not know this. So a fun fact about Billy Joel is that he has a surprising connection with Formula One. His song Xanabar from the 1978 album 52nd Street contains a reference to F1, and the lyric that is I've got the old man's car, I've got the jazz guitar, I've got the tab at Xanabar, tonight's gonna be F1. Apparently that is the lyrics. I'll be honest, I think I've heard that song, but I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure what I know what the other lyrics mean, and I would not recommend that necessarily. But there we go. Now we know. Now we know.
Now we know indeed. Thank you very much, Mike Nause, for that fun fact of the day.
Yeah, what do we know? I don't really know, but we know.
We know what we don't know.
Adam
Jace Wright
Strange,
currently
are you
in the
familiar
lead
with
right
that?
now.
He is. He's doing a stellar job of it, too.
201.667 being his last lap, and his best lap being a 201.645, so holding on to his pace there. And Ali Raza just snips away at the best lap of the race with a 201.4 a lap ago. His average, or his last lap, being a 202. Zane Bliscup doing 201.8, so catching back up to Ali Raza, but he's got a 2.3 second gap to work with, and Justin Beachley hot on the tail is doing 202.1s right now, and his last lap being his personal best, so Beachley is chasing down Bliscup, but not quite enough just yet.
Yeah, and also has Mason Prochalski still not too far away from him. Only 3 seconds right now, but that gap can certainly come down. And there's Rally Dutchy making a little bit of a mistake, or rather just being a good back marker and getting out of the way, I should say. But as the track dries, Jace Wright's going to start sweating more and more, because Jace is the wet weather specialist, but the rain is subsiding, and Ali Raza is getting more and more comfortable with the conditions. And as much as I hate to say it, Ali Raza, he may be slower in the wet, but he is certainly not slower in the dry. And Jace Wright is going to have a whole world of challenge piling down on his shoulders within the next 10 minutes, I presume.
100%. Ali Raza closing down that gap pretty commandingly right now, down to just 1 second, and even Jace Wright can see it waiting in the wings right now. That 1 second gap just closing in on him. He's trying to shake off the slipstream from Ali Raza, but still giving it up as Ali Raza dips beneath him, knows that that slipstream is highly effective here at Monza, and it seems that both drivers are pushing. Geriatric Gamer says both drivers are overheating their tires, it seems. I think you're absolutely right about that. Both of them are pushing to the absolute limit. I think they're both going to take another set of tires to finish off this race.
Yeah, certainly, and probably dry tires, to be honest. They're going to hold on for as long as they can till the conditions dry up and they can switch over to slicks. Luis Vasquez, they're getting by Joshua Worley. But the thing is as the tires continue to overheat, I favor Ali Raza, as again, this just comes down to pure experience. And this is nothing against Jace Wright. You know, people might say, oh, well, you're just a Jace Wright hater. No, it's nothing. In fact, I'm a massive Jace Wright fan. It's just that we're talking about the 7 or 8-time champion of Trackalicious, Ali Raza here, who has proven themselves time and time and time again to just be the utmost consistency, the utmost pace, and always there for an opportunity when it presents itself. And Ali, you can already see he smells blood in the water at this point as they drift through the corners. Ali Raza just able to lay down the traction slightly better, and again, that's just because he's had more car time.
Yeah, Ali Raza doing quick work of Jace right now. His last lap being a 201.47. That is the fastest lap of the race as well. 201.385 for Jace Wright. He's putting down his fastest laps being his last lap as well. But the thing is that Ali Raza, like you said, has the consistency, has pace beneath him, knows what these conditions are like, and is just biding his time right now. Here goes John Hawley trying to make a move. Doesn't really go for it there on Mason Perchowski. Perchowski in the Carson crash car. And the livery we're still dying to see right now.
Take a look, though, at this lead battle, because this is the moment that Ali Raza has been setting up for. The Parabolica. Get the better exit, lay the power down. You see a big wiggle there on exit for Jace Wright. He's also off into the green stuff. I think this is going to be hook, line, and sinker. Ali Raza has laid the bait out, and Jace Wright, as he bit, he covers the inside line defensively, and as we get closer and closer to the braking zone, it's like the Jaws music intensifying. Ali Raza thinks about going late on the brakes, but he's content with just waiting one more lap. He doesn't need to force the issue immediately. He can wait. He has time on his side, and Jace Wright, he knows that it's just, again, a matter of time before Ali finds the position on track to make the move. I would almost like to see Jace Wright almost hand it over at this point, but he's not going to, and I can respect that. He wants to show that he's here to fight. He wants to show that he knows how to defend from Ali Raza, and just because Ali is quicker, he's not going to hand that over. He can use this as a learning experience. And now we're going to see Ali Raza get the move done as Jace Wright makes a mistake. Into the first Lesmo, Ali Raza sticks it onto the brakes. Should run Jace Wright a little bit wide here. He actually leaves him about a country mile on track, but it does not matter. Ali Raza has put the work in, and he's made the overtake stick. A little bit loose there on exit. That could give Jace Wright a conversation back in potentially for Ascari. But again, this is Ali Raza we're talking about. Jace is going to think about it. Uh-oh. Okay, we're going to go side by side. Jace backs out. That is, yeah, the intelligent move to make there.
Wow, I thought that was going to be it. I thought Jace Wright had it back in his hands as Ali Raza made that huge mistake at Ascari. And there's another big drift out of Ali Raza, and Jace Wright's going to have to go for it now. He knows he has one lap to get it really secured. Pulls out of the slipstream, gets along the side, and we're chasing down towards Parabolica. I always favor this outside line that Wright's on, gets the nose clipped off of Ali Raza, goes a little bit deep as he can't really go towards the apex. This is going to allow him to get a big run towards turn one, carrying a ton of momentum. Jace Wright on the outside line, Ali Raza in the gold livery car on the inside line. Their nose to tail in equal machinery as well. They're both going to know what each other is capable of doing here as we approach turn one. Jace Wright covers off the inside line, holds on very sternly, returns to the racing line. This is a repeat of what we saw earlier, but Ali Raza doesn't go for it yet again. Holds on, waits for Jace Wright to make this crucial mistake, and will he open the door one more time? No, Jace Wright holds on to P1, Ali Raza in P2.
Yeah, but the one thing I'm noticing here is the percentage that each of these drivers is at right now. Jace Wright is driving at 110%, and you can see that. Ali, he seems to be at a calm, cool 90. You can see he's really not pushing the car. He's not having any squirming moments. He's not using the tires unnecessarily. He's also on dries, as I've just now... Wait, is he on dries, or is he just... I think he's just playing an optical illusion, and he has yellow rims. Yeah, he just has yellow rims. Those are not dries. But you would have a yellow Pirelli logo rounding the tires if he was on dries. Ali Raza, makes him think about it into the second Lesmo. But again, this is just Ollie playing the mind games. There's still 25 minutes left. Ollie Raza knows this. He doesn't need to drive at 120% right now to make anything happen. He knows if he just keeps consistent, stays pressuring, eventually Jace Wright is going to crack.
I hope not. I want to see this battle rage on for as long as humanly possible, because Jace Wright's doing a phenomenal job of driving his line as we get through Saagar here and losing touch with Ollie Raza in the background. The gap's slinkied back in favor of Jace Wright. Gap's now sitting at around half a second. Ollie Raza following the slipstream as much as possible as we approach Parabolica, doing a good job of it. Mike Nause, has it stopped raining just now?
No, I think it's just the camera that we're in currently that makes it look like it's not raining, as it still says it's raining a little bit, but it is stopping raining currently. So the track is going to be ever drying lap after lap right now. And again, this is Ollie Raza just waiting. You can see there is no intention right now in the eyes of Ollie. He is just trying to pressure Jace. John Hawley, though, I don't think that's going to have the same story. Mason Perchalski forced to go defensive as John here wants to get this done sooner rather than later. He's going to think about a spicy move, but no, the Chilean Lime remains calm for now, and Mason's going to get a much better launch out of this corner and set himself up very well for De La Roggia.
Yeah, looking good. Very, very timely action. And AMG on AMG crimes committed, not just yet. The AMG seem to be working together. Mason Perchalski out in front of Dumoulin from the FNM. No, that's not Dumoulin. That is John Hawley, excuse me, Mason Perchalski in the 410 Sobrante's car. Chilean Lime Racing doing a good job of driving that thing forward. And we have Jaeger Caro going side by side. I believe that's Mr. Rue up the inside in the 205 with all the blood spattered over it, taking out a polystyrene board for good measure. And 16th place, Jaeger Caro is under threat in 15th place for Mr. Rue, trying to go the long way around the outside of Curva Grande. A little flashy of the headlights there to try to get his attention, I think. But no. Nothing just quite yet.
Ooh, here we go. I think Ollie Raza may have found his moment here. Jace Wright looked a little out of shape through Ascari. It's going to be into the Parabolica that Ollie is actually setting this up. Jace with a late move over, which is, to be fair, all fair in love and war at the end of the day. But Ollie Raza has been so much tighter through the Parabolica. This time around, not so much. He's trying to carry the extra momentum onto the start-finish straight. And actually, Jace Wright elects to go for the undercut. So he's going to strap on the dry tires, and I actually like this strategy. It's risky. This is a risky strat. As you can see, the track is still damp, so Jace Wright's going to be tiptoeing for a lap. Ollie Raza, he doesn't think the conditions are ready.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a very tricky pit stop for Jace Wright right now, and I think he's going to be tiptoeing his way around, to say the least. And where is he going to come out on track right now? He's still stuck in the pits. I'm going to keep an eye on the pit stop to make sure he does take dry tires, and I'll let you know, Mike Nause.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly not taking wets. Your wet tires are going to be burnt up in a lap in these conditions, but I actually like the drivers that are staying out, going for the overcut. This is the much safer strategy, and I think the one that will bear the best dividends, but of course, we'll certainly see. I respect Jace Wright for trying this. This is what he needs to do, because he knows he's not going to win in a straight up fight. And again, everyone thinks, oh, you're just a Jace hater. No, I'm not. I'm a Jace fan. I promise. It's just realistic. Jace Wright's done a stellar job of this race. In fact, he's done a phenomenal job, and credit where credit is due. But Ollie Raza here, he is looking pretty good in terms of lap times.
Jace Wright is coming out of the pits on dry tires right now, but he commands his way through turn one like he's driving on wet tires in a damp conditioned track. Let's see how he gets around Curva Grande. He's still negotiating very well right now. Maybe he did make the right call, but you're absolutely right. He does a good job in a drive-through for the number 47. I believe that'll be our boy Aaron John. No, that's Squirrely Whirly for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, and a drive-through for Wade Georgeson. Now, was that track limits? Was it speeding in a pit lane? I'm not sure. But John Hawley here, side by side with Mason Perchalski. Both of these drivers should pit this lap. I would imagine any more laps that you're going out, your tires are going to start to get chewed up pretty bad, and you're going to be losing a lot of lap time. It's tough to go side by side into pit lane. You can already see John Hawley has no intention. Mason Perchalski, he's coming in, and this is the right strategy, I think. At this point, the conditions are ready to be switched over. This is the lap to do it, and let's keep an eye on our previous race leader, Jace Wright. Where is he going to come out in relation to Ali Raza?
The 410 inheriting P1 right now as he stays out for one more lap. That'll be John Hawley right there. Zane Blisket in P2s, Justin Beachley in P3. Mason Perchalski's in the pits. Ali Raza's in the pits as well. And I don't think Jace Wright has the momentum to carry himself back into P1 right now, as Ali Raza is in the pits, still stationary, and I can see those yellow rim tires fooling me and fooling my eyes. I'll keep an eye on the pit stop. He drops his tires right now. He's getting the wheels spinning. He's on his way. He's rolling out of pit lane right now.
It's going to be close, but I think Ali Raza is going to come out ahead. Let's see, though. Jace Wright coming down the start-finish straight. He's going to have all the momentum is the thing. And now Ali Raza coming out of pit lane. He can see in his rearview mirror Jace Wright. He can see in front of him Jace Wright. Jace has remained in the lead of this race. He made the right call.
Jace Wright pulling off a tremendous undercut right now with 1.3 seconds in hand over Ali Raza. What a great drive out of Jace Wright, commanding these slippery conditions very, very, very well.
And now Ali Raza, though, on the dry tires. This is his conditions. This is his time to strike. And I just want to double check. He does have dry tires. Yes, of course, he does. Just you gotta double check to make sure. As Ali Raza getting heat into them quickly there. Actually, again, that's just, it looks aggressive. That's just the racing line. Every time it does fool me as well, but that is the quickest line through. Second gear into the pits. Oh no! That's why you practice your pit entries, unfortunately.
Lap traffic squeezing Ali Raza just a little bit there. That looks like Rally Dushy trying to get off the racing line, but opens up a gap a little bit more now. 1.6 for Ali Raza to Jace Wright, 1.5 seconds to Jace Wright as well. Jace Wright is 21.7 seconds away from Professor Carnotis, and he'll be able to inherit P1 for sure at this rate.
Certainly will. Jaeger Karu also looking for an overtake here soon, but was that? No, that was not. I was looking at the wrong thing. Jaeger going down to the inside of De La Roggia? Yes, indeed, and that is going to be signed, sealed, and delivered. A little bit of a fragile warning on the label that the package advisor has not quite taken full note of. A bit of bumping and banging, but at the end of the day, nothing in terms of debris going to be flying off. All of the canards have remained where they need to be, and we are good.
No styrofoam melting in this microwave. Shane Dumlin from FNM chasing down Alex Hansen and Brian Clementi. The battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th right now is pretty heated as well. The two drivers going side by side. Alex Hansen on the inside line through Parabolica, the 100, trying to make quick work of the outside line, but the Camaro drags himself through as well behind Alex Hansen. And Alex Hansen, having success from this now, is going to realize that he's got a buffer between him and Shane Dumlin from FNM. But no, it looks like Alex Hansen's going to be under threat, that the Camaro is going to be able to pull off a slipstream move, trying to go for the outside line, the optimum line, some would say. And the drivers have taken their pit stops already, side by side on the way to turn one. A little bit of door banging there between the 187 and the 390. The 390 getting the worst of that exchange, and the 187 pulls off a move.
Flash of the headlights from Alex Hansen saying you should hand that position back, and I don't disagree with him. Yeah, I don't disagree with him. Either way, Luis Vasquez trying to take advantage of the situation. He's going to go to the inside of De La Roggia. Doesn't make it stick, though, and that's going to compromise his run. That's going to potentially allow Brian Clementi to make a move onto the exit now down towards the Ravazzas. You can see he's put himself in a fairly poor spot, but it's enough for now. The BMW makes itself extra wide and holds off in terms of this time, but for how long? We also have Jaeger Karu and Mr. Roo still having their scrap, currently running in P17 and 16.
Good friends on the track. good friends off the track between the two of them, chasing each other down. The 205 goes a little bit deep at the first chicane. Doesn't do well to hold on, and Jaeger Caro's back through on Mr. Rue.
Yeah, very quick battle. Quick end to the battle. Was hoping that one was going to go a little bit longer, unfortunate. Luis Vasquez, though, keeping us entertained for right now, as he is going to be pressuring Alex Hansen. Pop on board to the front splitter, as he is the run of a century. The BMW, the inline 6 at full chap right now alongside the flat 6 Porsche. It's going to be late on to the brakes through Parabolica. Luis Vasquez has the position for now, but will Alex Hansen launch himself out of the corner and get the run into the first chicane? That I do not think. Seems that Alex Hansen right now has gotten put on the back foot. Luis Vasquez takes P8.
Good position secured there. Nice top 10 finish for now, at least for Luis Vasquez. Alex Hansen's going to want to be clinching back for a little bit more. They're not battling for position in class, but they're battling for position overall and their bragging rights.
Yeah, and that's really what it's about in this championship. It's not about points. It's not about who wins. Wait, no, this championship, it is about points. What am I talking about? I'm still in the rookies mentally. My goodness.
Devin Anthony. Oh, Casey Schweinsinger for the Noobs R Us car, getting really close to Arlen Santos there. Arlen Santos has a bit of a moment there at the first chicane, and the 75 goes a little bit too deep, and the 84 is going to try to go around at Curva Grande. And I think he'll be able to hold on the position here easily and tidily doing so. He can return to the racing line, but the 75 is trying to snap back as quickly as possible, and he's tucked in behind the rear wing. And we got another battle out in front. This is Devin Anthony chasing down Professor Chronotis, and Chronotis uncharacteristically driving a white livery this time rather than his staple yellow livery. Hopefully he can get that changed back up for us so we keep him tracking.
And Brian Clementi has just dropped a position to Alex Freeman. I think that was a uncharacteristic mistake, and that's going to allow Alex Freeman to pull ahead right now. A good 1.5 seconds already behind that. Devin Anthony still pressuring Professor Chronotis. As you said, in that white McLaren, it is a odd choice for Chronotis and a very unrecognizable one. I'm used to the high visibility Ferrari, but no, not this time. Obviously no Ferraris in this categories. These are the GT4s.
The 100 did have a bit of a Code Brown moment, a bit of a tank slapper, but no damage, just heated up the tires on those dry rubbers. Not having a great time right now.
Ali Raza with a drive-through penalty. Ali Raza has a drive-through penalty. This has done what for the championship? Has it done anything? Yeah.
This changes up everything right now.
Jace Wright might be leading this championship after tonight.
Jace Wright with 55 points to his name. Ali Raza with 62 points to his name. And Grumpy Geriatric Gamer says Raza was getting track warnings earlier for sure. So, yeah, this all adds up for Ali Raza. Down in 9th place right now. Let's see what I'll give him for points as well. 9th place will give him 35 points. P1 will give him 60 points for that'll be Jace Wright's score. That'll absolutely invert things in the standings right now. Jace Wright's in P2, Ali Raza in P1 currently. But on track, it is a whole different story.
And a lovely little scrap three-way fight here for P16 as Mr. Rue has a bit of a mistake, lets Joshua Worley by. And now Jaeger Caru trying to extend that gap a little bit and maybe find some breathing room from these two drivers, allow them to squabble so he can run away into the sunset happily. But I don't know, is it going to be a happily ever after for Jaeger Caru? Only time will tell. Still 11 minutes and 40 seconds left in this race.
11 minutes and 40 seconds left in this race, but we feel like it's just gone by in a blink of an eye right now. The drivers have been very entertaining for us, at least here in the booth. I hope they've been entertaining for everybody else out on track as Jaeger Caru goes off, picks up some pocket sand for the cars behind him.
It certainly has been a very entertaining race. I will admit the last 2 minutes have felt like about 15 minutes in my mind, but I am just getting to that point of utter exhaustion. So there's that.
Ali Raza trying to make quick work of Alex Hansen. It looks like he's got about a quarter of a second between them two right now, and Devin Anthony and Professor Chronotis going after it. Alex Hansen almost pulls out of the way at Parabolica, and Ali Raza is able to go through. That'll be more championship points that he desperately needs right now to clutch back into the championship behind Jace Wright.
Yeah, and Alex, I mean, to be fair, he knows his place in that battle, says, I'm basically a back marker. I mean, not literally, but at the end of the day, Alex Hansen, if he just battles, he's just going to waste time and try to gain onto Luis Vasquez. Use Ollie Raza as a bit of a crutch. He'll have that slipstream effect, and Ollie Raza is going to find himself pretty quickly on the back of Luis Vasquez. And Alex, well, it'd be nice if he could stick along, but as we exit the first chicane, Ollie Raza has dropped him like a rock.
Yeah, and 2 more championship points for Ollie Raza right now. He'll get 37 if he ends up where he is right now. With 10 minutes left on the clock right now, I'm not sure if he can catch back up to Luis Vasquez in P7. That'll be another 2 points added to his tally, and he'll get 39 points in the championship. But still, Jace Wright potentially gaining 60 points overall. That'll be commanding for him.
Yeah, and that will be a huge disadvantage moving forward for Ollie Raza. Now, of course, there is 1 drop round, so that actually will, I think, keep Ollie Raza in the lead now that I think about it. Will it not? Because it'll be his drop round. So he'll still have 2 wins to his name compared to Jace Wright's 1-2. So actually, Ollie Raza will still lead this championship at the end of this race. I think.
That is true. That is true. Potentially so. But overall, throughout the championship, if you drop a good round, you know, all things considered, that'll be really the crux of it.
Yeah, exactly. It basically means that Ollie Raza has to be perfect the rest of the championship. You don't want to be using those up early, and if you have a no-show, now it's no longer going to be your no race, as Jace Wright. To be fair, he's also already used up his one with a no-show, so he had the drop round in race 1 that he did not show up to.
So a 2 and a 1
versus a 1 and a 1.
And a 1 and 1.
Yeah, so Ollie Raza will be leading the championship by only a couple points, but it'll be down basically just a straight up fight after that. A bare knuckle brawl, heavyweights going at it like Tyson and Fury back in the 90s.
How do you even know that stuff? Whoa, Jaeger Caru having a big wiggle gets touched by the car behind. And that allows Brian Clemente to snake his way through pretty readily. And Joshua Worley giving flashy of the headlights, not too pleased with that, and loses a position to Mr. Rue there on the straightaway.
Yeah, understandably not happy with the situation that just happened. I'll be honest, I'm not sure it was anyone's fault. Oh, but that is Mr. Rue missing his braking zone by 1.5 miles. And he goes deep, scores a touchdown, but unfortunately, that's not what the sport that we're looking for tonight. And we see Joshua Worley making up 2 positions for free as well. This is absolute insanity on this lap right now.
Joshua Worley getting the worst of it there at Parabolica and gaining it back up through T1 and T2 during the first chicane. That's just the way that racing goes, especially during these tricky conditions. The track, I believe, is still damp right now, or has probably gone greasy at this point in time, so the drivers are having to worry about their tire overheating.
Yeah, and, well, no, they're all on dry tires, so still worrying about cooling your tires.
Yes. Still worried about cooling their tires. The track is actually green right now, as the track has dried up just a little bit, so the drivers are getting into their rhythm and rhyme. Best lap right now being Ollie Raza in a 1:58.362 of this stint that he's taken. And that'll be the fastest lap of the race, holding on to that purple sector. He's knocking down time at least 1 second a lap on Luis Vasquez with a 1:59 flat right there.
Yeah, and ahead of him, Devin Anthony also going to be pressuring Chronotis here with a 59.8 to the 59.7 of Chronotis last lap, so the advantage in favor of the 42. But Devin Anthony really hasn't let Chronotis go. He's been in the slipstream for a long while now, and he's sort of just been waiting for any form of mistake. Chronotis going hyper defensive early on the straight as well. He's trying to break that slipstream, but Devin Anthony not having any of it, but still not going to be close enough to be making a lunge.
Devin Anthony in the red, white, and blue car, like you said, a little too far behind to make any sort of move happen here, but he is chasing down Professor Chronotis and trying to get work done on this car before he can finish it off, and hopefully trying to get himself into 11th place towards the end of this.
Yeah, that's
And
the goal. Maybe
gonna-
even a top 10. I mean, Alex Freeman is a bit up the road, to be fair, but still.
And right now, the leaders are Jace Wright in P1, Zane Blisket in P2, and Justin Beachley in P3. There's your podium sitters right now, separated by around 11.5 seconds throughout the top 3.
Yeah, I don't see the top 5 changing, barring any mistakes from the drivers right now. It's a 7-second gap from Zane to Jace. Jace has done everything he's needed to. Despite the doubts by me in particular, he has proven me wrong tonight off the back of a mistake from Ollie Raza, an uncharacteristic mistake at that. But Jace Wright, he is walking away with a race win here tonight, and he will be putting himself into second still in the championship, but only a couple points behind.
Yeah, barring any mistakes, that is, of course. Jace Wright can walk away with this one with a 7-second lead over Zane Blisket, but he's still driving to his heart's content. He's gaining lap time and track position, too, over some of the other drivers, and he's got a couple of back markers in front of him, that number 90, as he catches back up to the 21 and 21st position, Dr. Porkchop and Adriana Moro.
Yeah, so Jaeger Karu, Joshua Worley still in there, little scraps, but closest battle on track will remain that Devin Anthony Chronotis fight. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere right now. Devin Anthony, I don't want to say struggling to keep up, but he's keeping up with Chronotis right now, and that's about it. I feel like if that slipstream wasn't there, the lap times might not be necessarily as good for Devin Anthony, but Devin is matching Chronotis lap after lap, so that is at least enough for right now just to keep him in a overtaking opportunity as the laps dwindle down.
Yeah, a lot of good laps out of these drivers right now. The next one I see is going to be Ollie Raza, who's knocked down another couple tenths from Luis Vasquez. 28.6 to his name to a 29 flat from Luis Vasquez. So Luis Vasquez is pushing pretty hard, but it won't be hard enough as Ollie Raza is gaining some momentum and may get another 2 championship points by the end of this race.
Yeah, and that'll be a welcome stretch. I mean, every point will... well, no, I take that back. What am I talking about? The positions don't matter that much for Ollie at this point because this is going to be a drop round regardless. But long-term thinking, if Ollie Raza has a result worse than this, every point still will matter. So he does want to make up the positions regardless. But if Ollie Raza was to make every single race and have the result that he's looking for, then obviously this round won't matter too much. But either way, you want to push your all, you want to give it your all at all times, and you don't ever want to back down from a fight. And Ollie Raza, he wouldn't anyways.
100%. Ollie Raza is not the kind of guy to back out at any opportunity, but he will be cautious of this battle between him and Luis Vasquez. Knows that this might be a drop round. Doesn't need to go for anything too risky. He's already on his way through a good recovery drive right now after that earlier drive-through penalty, and he's going to try to make quick work of this one. He's got 3 tenths right now from him and Luis Vasquez tucked into the slipstream right now, and I don't think he might act on it at T1, but maybe set himself up for something at the second chicane. He's going to make a big look now on the optimum line. He goes for a big round the outside move around the 777, but cooks a little bit on the brakes, has to rejoin the track behind the 777, and he won't get anything set up now as he loses a ton of momentum in that car.
That's what you call the gamer line, in case you were curious, and that is how you pick up a drive-through penalty.
Ooh, that's how Ollie Raza's been doing it. Got it. That's the fast way I'm supposed to be driving.
That way, not... I mean, the way that he did it that time, no, he did slow down, but that is, what's going on, Ollie? Something's up. Something's up with Ollie right now. He's, this is uncharacteristic. This doesn't happen. I wonder if Ollie Raza just didn't get the practice with his Monza. I feel like Ollie's always practiced for Monza.
And Devin Anthony and Professor Chronotis, the battle for 11th and 12th, a little bumping and banging there at turn 1. They got into each other just a little bit. The red, white, and blue car touching the all-white car of Professor Chronotis. Not having a great effort there, but they've gotten separated by just a little bit, about 8 tenths. But here's Ollie Raza trying to make another move on that 777. Maybe just not predicting what the 777 might be able to do properly, and he's trying to avoid accidents. The leader's on the final lap right now. We'll get one more crack at it. Here goes Ollie Raza's final attempt on the entrance towards Parabolica. I'm not sure he's going to be able to carry enough momentum to go for an actual move here. He's not got a wheel well along the inside. Deep on the brakes is that McLaren, and that BMW is doing a little bit better. He's going to set this one up, though, for turn 1, and he's got a nice big slipstream to suck into behind that BMW. The number 30 doing a great job behind that 777. He's going to tuck in. The 777's holding on to the inside line as much as possible, going very defensive. Ali Raza is going to have to dip out here in just a second. There it is, trying to pinch that 777 to the inside line, says you want it, you got it, but I'm going to work my way around you around the outside, and chops the nose off of the 777. Doesn't have the same mistake twice. A little bit of touching there between the two drivers, but no love lost as Ali Raza gets another 2 points for his championship.
Yeah, that's what Ali Raza wanted to do on the previous lap. And Luis Vasquez flashing the headlights, but that's a futile flash in my opinion. I think he was upset with the aggressive nature that Ali Raza made the move there, but that was a fair overtake. There was no over-aggression. That was clean as clean can be, and Ali Raza, it was a hard-fought effort, but he finally gets it done. Rally Dutchy just picked up a drive-through penalty and contact potentially with Brian Clemente. So race has just gone to a disaster in the matter of no time. This has allowed Devin Anthony to get through onto Cronotis. Cronotis trying to get back into De La Roggia, has the inside line, needs to send it. This is his final opportunity. And he's not going to be able to make it stick. He'll have to try again a little bit later. But again, Jace Wright, the talk of the town tonight. The number 90 Optimum Motorsports. It's not the most optimum line through the final corner, but that does not matter. He has done it tonight, taking the race win 7.5 seconds over the rest of the pack. Zane Blisket will have to take home second. An excellent race for him as well, to be said. And Justin Beachley back onto the podiums. Third position, Mason Perchalski in fourth. John Hawley coming home in fifth with Shane Dumlin in sixth. Ali Raza seventh after the drive-through penalty. Luis Vasquez in eighth. Alex Hansen in ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is Alex Freeman.
Everybody doing a great job of negotiating these very tricky conditions tonight. Doing a very good job of handling their cars, and a lot of the pit strategies were very, very, very short notice because no one actually knew when the optimum cutover time was going to be, but the drivers absolutely called it almost pitch perfect. And we've got a drag to the line here at the end of Parabolica, it seems. This is Santos and Jaeger Caru. Jaeger Caru on the outside line, and it looks like Santos is trying to make a move on the inside line, and it will be a drag to the line, I believe. Jaeger Caru slips a little bit wide and allows that Aston Martin through, and there it goes. The position has been inverted. No, Jaeger Caru snaps right back. Can he get it to the line in time? No, Santos over Caru right there at the finish.
Yep. That was an incredible finish, and I was more saying yep to Carson right there. My goodness, that was just my brain autopiloting. Yeah, Carson, we are. But we're done. But we're done now. But we're done.
But we have interviews left to go, Mike.
Yeah, I know about that. Trust me. I mean, we're done. Look, we're getting there, all right?
All right.
I'm aware.
We're working out the details. Jace Wright, Zane Blisket, and Justin Beachley being your podium sitters right now. Hopefully they'll get down towards the green room in any second to get some interviews underway. Mike, how did you feel about that cutover period?
The cutover period? How do you mean cutover period?
For the wet to dry tires.
Oh, to be fair, Jace Wright proved me wrong, and he went for the better pit strategy in terms of Ali Raza managing to make the right call on the right lap. But what an exciting conditions. Those interchangeable conditions are some of the most difficult to drive in overall. And the drivers managed to perfect it out there tonight. And Jace Wright in particular showing why he is the wet weather king.
And we've got Justin Beachley, Zane Blisket ready to go. Let's go ahead and pull in Justin Beachley next.
Oh, come on.
Sorry, I dragged him.
There we go. Justin getting played tug of war with.
How are you doing, brother? Amazing drive that you had. How did your race go for you?
Yeah, thanks. It was a pretty good race tonight. Always love those mixed condition races. Yeah, the first half before the pit stops was pretty close between like me and Blisket, and even Ollie and Jace Wright were up there as well. So that was really exciting, and then it was all about pitch strategy, I think, after that. And I think the gap between Blisket and I at the end was about the same as not hitting the pit box properly. So that kind of slowed me down a bit, but I'll take third place. Unlucky by Ollie to get the drive through, but I lost a podium last week potentially because of that at Spa, so I guess that's just racing.
That's racing. It comes and goes for sure. Justin Beachley with a nice podium, tasting some champagne. We've got a special request for you, though, Justin Beachley. What's the name of the cat on your car?
Oh yes, that's Cecilia. Actually, if you look at the rear quarter panel, I made like a Puma logo, like spoof of a picture of her laying down, and then it says Cece on the side. So yeah, that's my cat. She's grumpy and also very cute at the same time. So
it is your cat. It's not your girlfriend's cat. Because I remember you saying that before.
Yeah, Cece's my cat, and then yeah.
So you have two liveries that are cat liveries.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
that makes sense. Got you. I'm with it now. I'm hip. I'm with it. I was just confirming.
Yeah, that was another series. I had them both, and then I just was too lazy to make a livery for this season, so I just went back to one that I already had.
Right on, Justin Beachley. Before we wrap anything up, is there any other comments that you have or anybody that you want to thank before we let you go and we get Zane Blisket into the broadcast booth?
Yeah, just thank all the viewers and everybody that participates in this series. As the manager, it's always good to see good racing. I think this series is, I've said it many times, but one of the best, I think, as far as competition goes. So thank you to everybody that participates and everybody that watches these races. It's a lot of fun.
100%. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you. Have a great night and go drink some champagne for us.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Next up, Zane Blisket.
Zane Blisket, how are you doing, sir? In the number 64 in second place. How do you feel about your race, sir?
I'm kind of vibing right now. It's kind of a tough one. Just keeping it alive.
Yeah. How were the tricky conditions? Race going from wet, surprise, and then going to dry. How did you deal with the cutoff period or the changing track conditions?
I'm pretty used to the wet to dry conditions, so it wasn't much of a change in difficulty. It was just more of a change in those brake lines and just keeping the tires where they needed to be. So it pretty consistent throughout the conditions. Yeah.
Good for you. And did you pit on the same strategy as Justin Beachley, or did you have a different strategy in mind for when you wanted to pit?
Normally I try to go a little bit on the overcut, but I just followed Raza into the pits because Raza had a little bit more pace than me, so I was just trying to sort of like divvy behind him, see what I could do, and it paid off pretty well. Unfortunately, Raza got that drive through, and that's what gave me that position. But yeah, no, bunch of same thing, just following up on the fast guys.
Nice, and good pace to your name as well. 158.865. Did you watch the track guide video to get that pace beneath you?
I wish I could say I did. I just I did a lot of practice, which is probably the biggest thing. Practice in the wet, practice in the dry, and then just practicing with my team, just back and forth, battling with each other, figuring off those on and off lines.
Right on, Zane. Is there anybody that you want to thank or anything in your race we may have missed before we let you go?
Honestly, I just gotta thank my team for doing such a wonderful job. They're consistently improving and having that drive to get faster. And then obviously my partner Dubby for giving me a little bit of that kickback for, doing some good things. So
nice. Thank you very much, Zane Blisket, for joining us. Enjoy your champagne in P2. We're gonna grab Jace right next and wrap up the stream. Thank you so much, Zane.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
You too.
And last but not least, Jace Wright, the controller king no more, the king of the wet as it stands at this stage. My goodness, what a drive, Jace.
That was a very stressful race, and it worked out.
How did it feel battling Ollie Raza and making it almost look easy for a little bit?
It was not easy, all right? But
You made it look pretty easy. I mean, to be fair, you ended up coming out on top. You had, not only did you have the superior pace over Ollie Raza, you had the superior pit strategy as well. Everything fell in your cards tonight, and then barring the drive-through that obviously happened, for Ali. But either way, you drove to perfection, Jace. I mean, you got to give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah, this is my first win in Trackalicious in pretty sure like over a year now, so I'm really happy about that.
And again, beat Ollie Raza off pace and pace alone, off of true merit. That's quite the thing to say, Jace. Again, did you expect to say that when you joined Trackalicious back on a controller, a year and a half ago?
Not at all. Not at all. Like, even today, I was thinking, I just don't want Ollie to walk away with the win, so I'll just, go full aggressive at the start and see where it takes me, and hey, it ended up in a win, so I'm happy about that.
Absolutely. And not only did it end up in a win, but you put yourself in a very good spot in the championship as well. You'll still be P2 due to the fact that there is a drop round for Ollie Raza, and he will be using it on this one. But you're posturing yourself to potentially be a Trackalicious champion, Jace. And again, is that just down to the practice? Is that down to your team? What do you attribute your recent success to?
I'd say probably more time on the game. I've been sinking a lot of time into, Le Mans Ultimate and ACC. So I'd say it's just the amount of time and experience I'm gaining. That's what I attribute this to.
Well, it's been paying off. Practice makes perfect, and you were perfect tonight. You took the race win, and as everyone says, a win is a win, Jace. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we move on here tonight?
As always, thank the Fuchsia competition boys and also the FNM team. They've been helping out a lot, so I want to thank them.
There we go. Awesome. Jace Wright, everybody. New race winner for Trackalicious in this GT3 championship. Congratulations, Jace. Soak it in.
Yep, I will. Thank you.
Well, Saagar, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Any concluding thoughts on this stream before we do end it?
This was an amazing adrenaline rush. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Thank you very much to all the chatters as well. Thank you very much to the drivers. And as always, please, everybody, remember to stay safe. Thank you very much for having us.
Absolutely. And Nightbot has decided to wake up again. Just took a little nap in the middle of the stream. It is what it is. ! Discord if you guys do want to get involved here. Head on down to the description of YouTube if you're also interested. But until next time, we'll be back tomorrow with the track guide of the Medio Castorino and myself. That'll be over at Watkins Glen for the race next week for the GT4 rookies. Get over to SimGrid, get on Discord, get involved with Trackalicious. But until next time, I hope everyone has a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. Thank you, and good night.